Welcome back to episode 228 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow Podcast. My name is Josh. I'm here, Troy. I'm here, Phil. I'm here with Papa Louie.
It's America's dynamic-ish duo. A slightly unstable Canadian and a producer doing creepy things in the background. A Gongshow Super Show.
Well, here we are, Super Show. What's up, boys? Got to start with Troy. Troy, I'm just going to throw it out there for you. Hockey players play injured. Hockey card podcasters play sick.
Yep.
So how are you hanging in, buddy?
Hanging in there. I will be on mute a lot. I've got the yaks coughing up, whatever. I'll try not to be on camera. Yeah, I feel miserable. I feel better today, though. Yes, last night was horrible. And
you were saying it's like the start of hockey season plague that you get every year?
Yep, every year. This hockey season starts. All these petri dishes of kids get together in the locker room, and then they just spread whatever fungus they have, and then all the parents get it because they bring it back home.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Phil, hi.
Hello.
Boy, you're so subdued. Are you okay?
I'm good. Keeping it all in.
Sad movie? Were you crying a few minutes ago, or what?
Just on the inside.
Okay. Well, you've had an exciting weekend. We're gonna hear more about that later. About your trip to the Montreal Expo, which you don't call the Expo, right?
I call it the Montreal Card Show.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I changed. Oh, okay.
No. It is called the Expo, Troy. Sicky Bear. It's just I call it the Montreal Card Show.
I know what Baba Louie's been doing all weekend. He's been going through 5K challenge entries, and he loves life. Nobody loves it. 5K challenge more than Baba Louie. So if you're in the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord, you'll be hearing from him. Yesterday in our time warp that we live in, or today possibly with any corrections that are needed, and there's quite a few, as we've learned.
Right.
Well, the NHL is back. Did anybody watch any of the very early Global Series games?
I did.
Over the weekend. What was your report?
You're the only one.
That was perfect. Everything worked out just the way I wanted it to.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of a Devils guy. Did Buffalo look... What was it? Devils look that good, or Buffalo look bad?
Buffalo was kind of scrambling, I would say. Okay. Goaltending was good, though. Both of each night, each team played each goalie. And tell you what, the goaltending, though, I mean, even though the scores were kind of the goaltending was awesome. So
nice. I don't understand why this kind of bugged me. And this maybe has happened before. They had preseason games going last night too, or at the same time of these regular season games. And boy, I was kind of confused for a second. And my wife's like watching the Wild game, and we thought it was a regular season game because I'm an idiot. And I just actually didn't pay attention. And then I realized it was still preseason against the Blackhawks, who look miserable. They look terrible.
Oh, yes, they do.
Like I think the Wild beat them 15-3 over 2 games or something, like back to back. They are not good. But no. I don't like this whole regular season start, and we also have preseason games going on at the same time. That's fine.
Yeah, Josh was saying something about that to me too, and the only thing I could come up with is they played those games over there, and now you got 2 days because of the long travel rest. Because real games start? Let's technically Tuesday would be the 8th.
Yeah, the 8th.
Yeah, so I know it is kind of weird. It's like everything the NHL does. It's like they do like half right, and then you scratch your head at the other half of the logic. It's like, don't start your season. I don't mind that it starts overseas, but when 95% of the fans are in North America, to be playing the games at like 8 a.m.
That was awesome.
It's kind of, it's not prime time though, Louis. There's a reason why Friends wasn't on at 8 a.m. right? Back in the 90s, but regardless. Okay, now next topic. Who has seen any of the Amazon Prime series Face Off, which released on, I think, the 4th?
I only saw clips, like the highlights. I haven't watched this. I haven't had time to sit down and watch.
I don't even know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
No.
Phil. What?
You not listen to the show that you're on?
No, well, there's your answer, Troy. So the big genre with all these streaming channels that has been very successful is the sports docu series,
Yeah.
right? And made, most famous by Netflix's F1 Drive to Survive, which really catapulted the sport. Then there was the golf one. We have a basketball one coming out next week, and the NHL one, which I think is very poorly named, NHL Face Off.
Yes, terrible name.
Six-part series that released on the 4th. And it follows each episode 2 different players through basically the spring and playoffs of last year. And it can have, like, these docuseries can have dramatic effects on the popularity of the sport. Nobody in North America cared about F1. Nobody. Sorry, Louis, but nobody did until Drive to Survive. And then because of the popularity of the series, the sport catapulted. Now, like, the place to be is the Miami Grand Prix or whatever, and then Vegas too. Like, that's like where all
Is
the
this like the Maple Leafs thing that they did during the playoffs 2 years ago? That's an HBO thing, right?
Yeah, maybe it's
like,
sort of
like overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with all these.
It's like unfettered access. Like, this is where you'll see the clips that are floating around of McDavid after he wins the Conn Smythe and refusing to go out. It's like, and then they kick the cameras out. There's one episode, Phil, where they basically Swayman gives every indication why he hates the Bruins back in this when they did this show because of arbitration. He's got his feelings hurt. Is what happened, and he basically explains why. And it's funny it came out at the same time of all that drama going down with Swayman now.
I think
that was a good one though. Sorry, go ahead, Philly.
I think you guys have different shows on your Prime because I don't see that.
Yeah, I was gonna look. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime in Canada. Is it something else?
Yeah, it came out in Canada a week before we got it in the States.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then. I'm not sure. I'll be hibernating.
Do you live in Canada, Phil?
I do, man.
Has anyone verified that?
I'm not a TV guy, man. If someone doesn't tell me and I'm not like, either way, it'll be exciting to watch. I'm glad this has come to my attention today.
Well, I made it through the first 2 parts. Part 1 was William Nylander and David Pastrnak. And what was kind of cool about that part is that you learned that they were really, really good friends going back to childhood. Okay. And then the second part was Philip Forsberg and Jack Eichel, kind of them battling through their injury histories and sort of chronicling that. And Louis had seen it before when I had asked him, and you were very like, what was your review to me, Louis?
Meh.
Yeah. So yeah, typical Louis.
That was another Baba Louie hobby hot take.
And normally that's like me just saying Louis, like, more than 2 words would be great, but actually in this case it was pretty appropriate, I want to say, because it's not bad. It's just I had such high expectations for it.
All right.
I think it picks up. I think it picks up at the end.
Okay.
Nobody in my life, nobody up here in any circles of any sort has said, "Hey, did you watch XYZ of what we're talking about?" Nothing. This is the only place I've ever heard of it.
I'm not trying to give away too much either. Yeah, those beginning
the
beginning too. Yeah, they were kind of like, I can see what they're trying to do. Yeah, I only got 1 episode left, so they get better, but it's the same. I don't know.
Formula. Yeah, and I just don't think they did a great job capturing the drama of it either, but I'll see. I'm only 2 in. And if anyone has any, if you want to give your review or critique, message us on social media, leave a comment on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. We have one exciting announcement to make today before we get into the meat of our show here. So we are going to do a Series 1 release day, which is October 16th. We're going to do a live show that night with Billy Celio of Upper Deck. Have some kind of fun things planned there too. So if you want to mark your calendars for that, again, Series 2 release day, Wednesday, October 16th, starts at what time? I've spaced it out.
8 p.m. our time.
8 p.m. our time, so that's Central. So it'd be 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. on the Pacific or West Coast. Yeah, you got to work late that night, Phil.
Move it back a little bit? No? Okay.
No.
The guest basically determines when we start.
Yeah. The guest basically determines that. We might even be giving away a box of Series 1 or 2. We're working on that. Again, should be a lot of fun. And one of the things that we are committed to doing more as we get into the, I guess, 2024-25 season as a show are some kind of very excited about that. That's something we all want to do. Love the chat interaction when we do that, which hasn't been often for our show. Even the last one we did is, I think, our most successful YouTube video ever. So, leave it to us.
Yeah.
Do something, have it be massively successful, and then not do it again. But I do the Fanatic show with Jeremy, as most know, every week. And so I've gotten definitely the chat experience there, and it's a lot of fun. So Wednesday, October 16th, our Series 1 release day live stream with Billy Celio at Upper Deck, 8 p.m. Central on YouTube and other places that stream. Okay, really quickly before we get started, a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow Podcast, is a Patreon podcast. That means we rely on the support of listeners like yourself and watchers like yourself to help us cover our show expenses, produce more on what we hope to be better hockey card content, and then fund initiatives, even in a small way, to grow the hockey hobby, like Rip Party coming up November 8th. Cannot wait for that. Very easy to support us. You can do it for as little as $5 US a month. Be one of our first $1.99 or out of $1.99 support level supporters. You forever get that title. You also get exclusive access to our Discord server, where you can do stuff like the 5K challenge and ruin Louis' life, which we all take great joy of. And maybe not
at least
Louis.
his weekend. At least his weekend.
Yeah, at least his weekend. Ruin his weekend. It's very easy to do. You can go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to the Patreon website, patreon.com, search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. There's a link in the show description on both YouTube and the podcast apps, all of them, and in our Instagram and TikTok profile. We have 2 new supporters of our show since our last episode, which is always amazing and we are grateful for. New York Islanders fan joined on a $1.99 and Blue Chips, both in Discord. Great to see you guys there, and thank you very, very much for supporting us. All right, Troy, you ready with the game plan, bud?
I am. On today's show, we begin with round 5 of some of the ugliest, worst / bad hockey cards in existence. Then it's off to our next installment of Hobby Mount Rushmore, and this time we are taking a look at the team everyone has wanted, the Seattle Kraken. Next is Hobby News. Then we have a discussion around should key 1-of-1 hockey cards from Upper Deck be available in Upper Deck's ePack product. Hold on to your hats. Phil, you have a lot of opinions, I bet, on this. Phil then gives us an update on his travels to the Montreal. I put Sports Card Expo, but I'm going to call it the Montreal Card Show now because that's what we're going to go with. Then in new product releases, we take a look at 23-24 Skybox Metal Universe and the cards that you should care about. We end the show with the Gongshow Mailbag, lots of questions, and any personal pickups. Okay, fellas, we are on part 5 of some of our, or where I look at some of my favorite worst / bad / ugly hockey cards ever created. Again, we have had tons of feedback. There's at least 5 comments every time on YouTube about these cards that we put in here. So please keep it coming. Love seeing that. I am going to say this week I only did 2 because I basically shut down last night. I couldn't type any. I couldn't function. But I apologize for that. So only 2 cards this week, but they are pretty doozy. The first one's a doozy. I'm just going to say it straight off the bat. Here we go. Let me put it on, and then because it's gonna startle you. Here we go. 1970 OPG Pete Stemkowski number 182. Okay, this one, wow, is it bad? This falls into our category of let's put a player's head on a different body and hope for the best. Now, I don't know what they were doing with their photoshopping. I know it's not photoshopping, but whatever they were trying to do. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture just does not work. The card is basically Pete's head, is what it is. His head is 3 times too big for the body that he put him on. Plus, his eyes are just staring. He's like me. He's got big eyes. I got big eyes. I can't help it. That's how I was born. But Pete here is just staring into your soul. So I don't know why they decided we're going to slap his head on. There's no neck. It's literally just a head on a body staring into your soul.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about this right off the bat. So I've been thinking about like how this was done. I'm pretty sure that in this time, it wasn't so much computer generated. I bet you
they probably cut it out, right?
They had to cut it out and kind of like Frankenstein, those things together. Is his face about 93 shades too red as well?
Yes. It's like just weird. I couldn't even figure out who who the body they used. I looked at the other Ranger cards in this set and I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to use the strings as like the basis and I couldn't find anything like that. There was a couple where the strings were tied. But yeah, the coloring's weird. It's just, listen, your head is not basically the size of your torso. And it's like, that's what they went with. And it's freaky.
You know, in like movies where people are on like Mars and it kind of looks like a Martian background, right? It's got like this like red sky.
Well, it's our favorite lights or whatever those are supposed to be.
With two moons. It looks like like Elon Musk or whoever brought Pete Stemkowski to Mars and then took off his helmet. And this is like right before his head explodes because the pressure and oxygen.
Like Total Recall when they like all get the vacuum lock breaks, or else they're sending him potatoes because he's in The Martian, I guess would be the other one.
Did they all use hair product back then? I wonder if he's like a fop or a Dapper Dan man.
I don't know. He's got nice comb, looking good.
Yeah, they all have good product in their hair, I find.
Or he just got off the ice and he's all sweaty and they just
I was wondering when you're going to chime in, Phil. I didn't know if you were all butthurt because people say you look like Mel Bridgman from last week.
No, I don't look like Mel Bridgman. He looks like me. Get out of here. No. I'm just taking it all in. This is good.
You got to find a helmet that he was wearing, though, and paint it silver and wear it one day.
Halloween's coming up, maybe, eh?
There you go. There you go. All right. So, yes, terrible card. Pete Stemkowski was a center who played 967 games in 15 seasons in the NHL with the Maple Leafs, Red Wings, Rangers, and Kings. For his career, 206 goals, 349 assists for 555 points. One-time Cup winner. This card does have a PSA 10 pop count of 1 with a gem rate of 1.2%. Last sale of this card in a PSA 10 copy of it I could find, obviously the only one out there, was for $423.98 way back in I don't even know the month, 2011. So thank you, Card Ladder, for your crazy history. That was a lot of money back then. Someone really wanted this. Someone was probably set collecting.
Still is, man. $400 for no offense, Pete, but
no, yeah, it's a set collector, right? Like you want to get all PSA 10s,
PSA registry,
registry stuff. You got to fork it over. Raw copies go for about $1. Okay, that's our first one. Second one, I think this one's pretty well known, maybe. 1991 Pro Set Platinum Collectibles. Rob Blake. Card number is PC8. So that's our card number. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll kind of try to explain.
Sitting on Kelly's head.
Basically. So this card, absolutely wild. Not in a good way. Kind of weird what they decided. So this card was an insert in the 1991 Pro Set Platinum. Or boy, that's set. Pro Set Platinum set. I guess that's how it is. So on the sell sheet, they actually show the PC8 card of Rob Blake as a sensational sophomores card that was available in Series 1. So there's a little nugget for you. Now, I put this into the category of I have no clue why they selected this picture for the card. And it also touches on, I guess, my favorite, where a player's rear end is the main focus of the card. I guess that's what we're going with. Just a weird situation overall. As you can see, the card is of Rob Blake, which you might not really know if this is his card, because guess what? There's no name. There's no name on the card who it is. So Rob Blake falling backwards and basically his butt landing right on Kelly Rudy's head. And I wish I could see Kelly Rudy's face in there, but I can't. He's probably like, what is going on? But he could not be happy about this.
It's getting ready for pink eye.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I was just going to say, in all the cards you've done to this point, you could make a case that any one of these players would be like, really, when they saw their card.
Yeah.
I think this is the first one where I don't even think Rob has the biggest complaint on this card. Kelly Rudy's like, seriously?
Well, too, and it's a Rob Blake card. Guess who you can't see really? Who you don't see his face.
Yeah.
Rob Blake. You can see his eyeball, basically, or his eye. But it's like, I don't know what they were doing with this one. It's a fun picture. Don't get me wrong. It's fun, but no, this is a terrible hockey card. Kelly Rudy is getting just destroyed. The picture, it's of Rob Blake. There's no name on the card, so who knows who it is. But everyone noticed this. Look at the aluminum stick. I love this. That's pure 90s right there, baby. Easton aluminum gold. Get your torch out, melt the glue, and then put it in. I love it.
He doesn't have it bad enough with a girl's name. He's getting sided on now. Poor guy. Poor Kelly.
Kelly Rudy.
Those aluminum sticks those are weapons, weren't they? If those broke, they could.
Yeah, since I was a goalie, I never actually used one in like regularly in a game. I used it in like pickup hockey, but yeah, I do remember people taking shots and the blade just launching out because like the glue got lessened or the strength wasn't there anymore.
They were great, man. Such a hot item when I was growing up.
You can still get them. You can still get them if you go to like our big hockey store here is Pure Hockey. It used to be Total Hockey. If you go there, they do still sell the shafts and the blades for those sticks.
Are graphite sticks still a thing?
I don't know. I know
graphite was big after
like composite's the big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weigh is
it composite or composite?
Composite. Is it aluminum or aluminium?
Stop.
Aluminium. Advertisement or advertisement?
Oh,
Get out of here, Margaret. No one wants your crap.
Oh, Phil's on mute. Weird.
So again, this is our second one. Another terrible hockey card. And actually, now looking, I think Rob Blake's kicking this guy straight in his things.
Oh, yeah.
So just another thing we'll add to this. Awesome
he's like a hockey ninja. He's got a tack to the midsection, and he's slamming some guy's head with his butt at the same time.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Fantastic. All right, Rob Blake, Hall of Fame defenseman who played 1,270 NHL games over. I didn't even put the seasons, but I know it. It's 20 seasons with stints with the LA Kings, Colorado Avalanche, and San Jose Sharks. For his career, Blake had 240 goals, 537 assists for 777 points, one-time Cup winner, one-time Norris winner, and this is the respect he gets on his card. I could not find any PSA graded copies of this card. So no, you telling me there's no set collectors going for 91 Pro Set Platinum? What the hell?
No.
All right. Raw, this card goes for $1.
You did miss a big feather in his cap in his career accomplishments, Troy. You didn't put his trade for PLD in there.
Oh, yeah. His general manager PLD trade.
I know you felt like crap, but Troy, I set one up on a platter for you.
What?
Another card.
Oh, no. I'm using that one next.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was my planned next card, actually. And then I was just, I can't. I'm like, I feel like crap. I'm like literally falling asleep at my computer. So, yeah, I know which one it is. 2
gems, 2 great ones. And as much fun as we've had chronicling ridiculous hockey cards, we're going to move on to our next area of ridiculousness and do the Hobby Mount Rushmore for the Seattle Kraken. It is for sure the most absurd one that we'll do because we're going to lean on all 3 years of the Kraken's existence.
No. We got to do Utah eventually. That will be the most ridiculous one.
We can't do Utah. How are we going to do Utah?
When Series 2 comes out, we can start doing
goodness.
Utah. It's going to be the 4. If they have 4 young guns, it will be those 4.
All right.
Yeah, maybe. Well, this is going to be interesting. So remember, Hobby Mount Rushmore is where we nominate 4 franchise legends oh boy, that accumulated great numbers, were meaningful to the community, and have the best hobby markets of all the players who played for that team. We only look at performance and impact from what they've done on that specific team to weigh their candidacy for one of the 4 Rushmore spots. Sometimes I wish it were 2, like today. Honestly, this felt like picking the Nobel Prize winning physicist from a 5th grade science fair. Like, what do you do after 3 years? But we don't shy away from big challenges on the show, right, Phil?
Absolutely not. We hit them head on.
So here we go. All right, brace yourselves, everyone. First one was sort of the easiest and most logical. Matty Beniers. Even though he had a fairly bad sophomore season, Beniers is probably the easiest Kraken player to pick for Hobby Mount Rushmore. The 21-year-old Kraken center has played all 2 of his NHL seasons in Seattle. The first one was pretty good. In 80 games played, he had 24 goals, 33 assists, and 57 points. That was good enough to win him the Calder Trophy. He was an All-Star Game selection his rookie season 2. And then let's agree to not talk about season 2. All right? I want to say it's a new year for him this year. Beniers is currently 6th all-time in Kraken scoring with 103 career points, 4th in franchise history in goals with 42. And when it comes to the...
Who's got the most goals in Kraken? Who's got more?
Larson, probably?
Or
McCann,
talk about it.
maybe?
We'll talk, just say.
Well, I'm
Very
just
exciting.
saying,
This is craziness.
Okay.
Well, what McCann's obviously got. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Okay. When it comes to the hobby, Beniers is miles ahead of any other Kraken player. Per card letter sales history, 6,950 Beniers cards have sold on the secondary markets to date. They're this year to date. Of those sales, 29 have been for more than $500. And the highest selling Matty Beniers card to date is a 2022-23 Upper Deck Young Guns High Gloss out of 10 raw that sold at eBay in February of 2023, which is another case of a disappearing eBay photo. So instead, we're going to show his 2023 OBG base card.
About the same.
About the same. These disappearing eBay photos are driving me crazy.
Why is it happening?
I think I figured out. It's like a 6-month period from like the end of 2022 to through like the beginning of summer 2023. They may have lost all their photos, like a server farm
they
went
tried
down
to crash and then have it backed up
or something like that.
Okay.
Matty Beniers. So, anyone have any comments on Matty Beniers, or does that seem?
No, I'm looking up the career leaders. I was so far off. Wow.
I only know like 6 players total, so I'm hoping for the next 3. I don't even know how to spell Beniers. Anyway.
Well, it's right there on the screen, so you could look if you wanted.
Next player.
Okay. Joining Matty Beniers on the Seattle Kraken Hobby About Rushmore is Jared McCann, the all-time leader in Kraken history in both goals and points.
Oh, there we go.
In his 233 games played with the team, he scored 96 goals, added 86 assists for 182 points. His 233 games played is 4th in franchise history. 86 assists is 3rd in franchise history. McCann came to the Kraken from the Maple Leafs, Phil's favorite team, via the expansion draft in 2021. Also, the very first player in Kraken history to sign a contract extension.
Yeah, baby.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, guys. We got to find something to say about these guys.
That's a significant moment in Kraken history.
Getting baseball stats here now.
I wonder who the first Kraken player to go to arbitration was.
Jeremy Swayman. McCann is the only Kraken player to ever score 40 goals in a season.
That's pretty good. I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah, 2022-23 when he had exactly 40 goals.
Nice.
Now, year to date, just 1,322 McCann cards have sold on the secondary markets per card letter sales history. Of those sales, 0 have been for $500 or greater. The all-time highest-selling Jared McCann card is his 2021-22 Ultimate Collection Jumbo NHL Shield 101 patch auto in a Kraken jersey, which is
nice.
A
legit card, at least.
That sold for $495 this past June 2024. So again, McCann, not much of a hobby market, but he is the leader in points for Kraken. So there you go.
Yeah. Do we have any listeners from Seattle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys should write to Louie and tell us your favorite parts of your hockey team.
Tell them how excited they are for Portland to get an NHL team.
Well, the thing about it, Phil, is this is only ridiculous because they're so new.
No, I know.
I would argue they've had a very successful launch of their franchise.
Yeah, for sure. They're so brand new. I don't even think of them ever.
Yeah. Now, in honor of Troy, and to win his love and approval, I had to put an attendee on the Kraken's Hobby Mount Rushmore. The only really viable choice here is Philip Grubauer.
Like a goalie.
Grubauer is the franchise leader in games played with 130, more than double of second place Joey Decord. And wins is also top in franchise history. He doesn't have a winning record.
Who cares about that?
But he's 49, 61, and 11 with the Kraken. I should also take this time to mention that only 4 goalies have ever played for the team.
I was going to look that up. I was
there's that too. Now he does kind of have a decent hobby, more than Jared McCann. 1,783 Grubauer cards have sold on the secondary markets this year per card letter sales history. And I got to say too, part of me really wanted to put Joey Decord in this spot because of his like sweet goalie helmets where he's like Ken Griffey Jr. cards on them. And, but man, like 700 Joey Decord cards have sold this year. And so it's like, I just couldn't do it because there's no hobby market. Of the 1,783 Grubauer sales, just one has been for more than 500 US, and it's also the highest all-time selling card. It's one of these like him and other guys kind of deals. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a card, Phil. It's a booklet. The all-time highest selling Philip Grubauer booklet is this 2013-14 The Cup rookie trio goalie NHL Shields. It's Grubauer, Antti Ranta, and Martin Jones. Sold for 535 US a couple months ago now, August 4th of this year.
You know what's crazy about this card? There's another Kraken goalie on it.
Oh yeah, Martin Jones, right?
Martin Jones he's the third one. Who knows the fourth goalie that played for the Kraken? I had to look it up, so I'm not acting. Josh, I don't know if you remember who he was.
I don't know.
I don't. Do you know, Phil?
Chris?
No.
Is it Dredger or Dredger? I can't remember how to say it.
Oh, yeah. So we have Beniers, McCann, and Grubauer.
Yep.
And the last one, I'm going with Troy's boy. He called it Shane Wright. Now, many might think I'm crazy, which I totally admit I am. You got to remember, though, this is a hobby Mount Rushmore. And outside of Beniers, Shane Wright, who stars, of course, in the Shane Wright Revenge Tour.
Which comes from us from the press box.
Yeah, coming to you live from the press box. So Wright was the 4th overall pick of the 2022 NHL entry draft, which is pretty much his career highlight. I mean, he's played 16 games. He has 5 goals, 2 assists for 7 points. He has a plus-minus of +5. That comes from something, right? I don't know. Only 20 years old, has spent most of the past 2 seasons since being drafted either back in the OHL or with the Coachella Firebirds in the AHL. This year will likely be his year to, break through and become a full-time NHLer. So why the heck is a guy with 5 goals on our hobby Mount Rushmore? Again, because it's the hobby stats are way better than the hockey stats at this point. Year to date, 4,757 Wright cards have sold in the secondary markets. 5 of those sales for more than 500 US. The all-time highest selling Shane Wright card is this 2021 Upper Deck Team Canada Juniors printing plate 101 that sold for $1,406 US in January of 2022. So yeah, 5 career goals and on the hobby Mount Rushmore. What do we think about that?
That's his highest card ever, 1,400. That's wild. Yeah. Interesting. Long way to go. He's got a long way to go. He's a young man. He can pull a Lafreniere.
I think if you were to make an argument, like the closest one I could come up with would be Jordan Eberle instead of Shane Wright, but Eberle has really no hobby market. And so
Dunn?
Who went with Wright?
Dunn up there? Vince Dunn.
Vince Dunn? Yeah, but I mean, I don't think if you look up his sales on Card Ladder, maybe Louis can do that for the year. They're pretty anemic.
Is he a D man or is he a
yeah. He's the only other Kraken guy I know.
Yeah, I can think of.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, one thing you should mention too, what's kind of crazy about this is one where 5 years from now, you think there'd be maybe all 4 could be different. Maybe Beniers would still be on there, but
yeah, for sure.
This will change a lot where you get to, we haven't done Edmonton yet, but you get to Toronto. Toronto's might not change for 50 years at this point.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the game player leaders. You probably said it. Adam Larson, you said, right, was number 1.
Yeah.
Yanni Gord's 3. I mean,
if we go by history, not much should change with
there's not much there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wait. I think Louis. Yeah. So Jordan Eberle had 900 cards have sold year to date. So it's how do you do? Now, who's next? So we're still in the Pacific Division. We have Calgary, Vegas, Canucks, Ducks, Sharks, or Oilers. What do you guys feel? What are you thinking?
Vancouver.
I was thinking.
I would say, I'd say Vancouver, Calgary.
Are you on a tie break, Troy?
Yeah, let's do. Actually, Vancouver.
Yeah, let's stir the pot. Vancouver people get really upset. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's people get upset at me in this segment.
That's
so
fine.
It's funny that you want to. Oh, there we go. All right, there it was. Seattle Kraken, Hobby Mount Rushmore. Slab Sharks is a Gongshow partner sponsor. We're grateful for their support of our show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction is live. You want to head to slabsharks.com, check out all the crazy hockey cards available in this week's auction. I looked. There's 2,200 cards available this week again, which is crazy. The boys and I have gone through the auction, picked out a couple of our favorites to highlight. We're going to start with Troy. Which ones did you like this week, buddy?
Okay. It's actually funny because I just found like my cards from my 2 favorite sets. So here's the first one. 2019 Upper Deck Stature, number 50, Sidney Crosby. Red auto out of 10. PSA 8, auto grade 9. I don't care about that. If I won this card, it's immediately getting out of that slab because it looks ridiculous. And I don't care about that. Plus, I think the slab is all scratched up. If you look, like I thought maybe it was the surface of the card, but you look at these scratches, they like extend off into the whatever, the border of the slab. So I think they're all on the slab. But again, I love Stature. Great looking card. I actually think the red actually kind of matches a little bit, or I don't know. I don't know how all these color
complements it at least.
Is it complementary color? Is it
complementary color?
Yeah. Let me go get my color wheel. But fantastic card, great player, great auto. And this is one too where these older statures, you got to watch the autos because they'll start bubbling. I don't see a lot of bubbling on this. I don't even actually see any bubbling. I see some basically where the pen came up a little bit, but if it's not bubbled, I'm good. So that was my first one. Second one, guess we're on a Felix Potvin. We've been talking about Felix Potvin a lot, but
this is a great card though.
Awesome card. SP Signature Edition Legends. Felix Potvin, all-time future watch, auto out of 199. Fantastic looking card. Great picture. This set is so awesome. I will say that every time we look at the cards from it, auto looks nice and clean. There's a little part where the pen comes up. You can definitely see that, but great card. So again, Rip, if you win this, take it out of the slab. You don't need it in the slab. Get it out of there.
All right. 2 great cards. I picked 2 cards, and then Phil, you submitted yours. One of yours was one of mine. So I decided to pick another one. No, it's okay because I'm actually curious. The card that you and I both picked, there's something interesting about it, and I want to test you and see if you know that.
Oh, I want to take a guess what it is.
I probably don't.
Yeah,
I want to guess.
Okay, we'll let you guess when we get there first.
Yeah.
So first one I went with is 2014-15 the Cup, Marc-Andre Fleury, Emblems of Endorsement, dual patch auto out of 15 raw. I just show our boy Flowers some love. Sick card. Love the patches. The only thing that annoys me about this set is that Upper Deck can't decide what the name is. Some years it's Emblems of Endorsement. Some years it's Emblem of Endorsements.
Do you think it's like an intern gets assigned to put the title in and he sometimes puts
yeah, I think it's just a typo, but that kind of stuff drives me crazy. Yeah, again, both patches are cool. Very nice auto. Good card. Then I had to go with the 2023-24 Credentials Bedard Provisions insert. Love these Provisions cards. There's 10 cards in the set. To hit any one of the 10 is 1 in 200 overall pack odds. So it's 1 in 2,000 packs to hit the Bedsy. Kind of a cool vibe with the whole lottery balls going on there. So that's the other one that I picked. Then we'll go to Phil. You can throw up the card, Troy, then we'll let you guess first as to what do you think is interesting about this card?
The patch, right? It looks wrong.
Are we talking to me now?
Yeah, this is your card.
It looks like it's from an All-Star jersey, doesn't it? It doesn't look like it's from a Oilers jersey.
I didn't pick any of the 2 cards you picked.
No, I had picked this one originally. And then I changed it because
so we picked this card. So what you're looking at
we picked this card. So what is interesting about this? And what we're talking about is a 2014-15 the Cup Wayne Gretzky Gold Relic Auto out of 10 raw.
Mm-hmm.
What is fascinating about this card that's odd or unique to hockey?
It's got Wayne Gretzky on it. It has a
not so unique.
No, well, it doesn't have his captain on it. The captain C on his jersey.
It's got an A on it. No, that's his armpit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was from a picture when he wasn't the captain. It is that Troy's actually right. It is the patch, but it's not a patch. What do you guys think that is?
Is that a sock?
Oh, that's not a patch. It would be part of his glove.
Nope.
Okay. Tidy whities? Nope.
That not very white.
No, yeah. What could be Fruit of the Loom?
It's kind of like a brick orange. So either he maybe need to check his diet or it's not his underwear.
All right. What is it, Josh? Just tell me.
It's his equipment bag.
No kidding. That's really interesting.
Now, So here's my thing on this card that I thought was, and why I'd picked it, because I thought I was trying to decide for myself is, equipment bag isn't like the most exciting part of a thing, but it is oddly specific. The provenance on the back of the card that, a lot of the times these patches, we don't really even know what they are or who they're from or where they came from. And it said it was an equipment bag certified as to having been used by Wayne Gretzky. So I don't know. Do we think that is, do we like that or no?
I'd rather a patch of a jersey, I think.
Would you rather have a player worn jersey or a jersey?
Yeah, I would rather a patch.
Yeah, you'd rather have a patch than the equipment.
Yeah, player worn. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe this is like a card where if you already have, if you're like Spendy McSpenderson or something like that. Well, we just had a little bit of break. I don't know if you noticed, like Troy's like head spinning, but all of our audio went right. And it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have one tech disaster. So,
yeah.
Well, glad you're back.
We're back. I'm back.
Yeah. Anything else to say about this very fascinating equipment bag, Wayne Gretzky relic auto?
I think I'm taking it off my list now that I know it's an equipment bag. Sorry, Wayne.
The next one, you're going to take this off your list too?
Oh, my boy Jake. Yeah.
No?
So I'm a little upset. So what you're looking at is a 2022-23 The Cup Jake Sanderson RPA out of 249. I am a little disappointed it's not out of 99 because when they're out of 249, it really, really changes the whole game. So if it was out of 99, I would jump on this 3-patch auto. I'm not a big fan of his autograph, but anywho, it is what it is. It is out of 249, so I'm going to do the smart thing and not bid on it. They were about $600 for the first few days. Now between $400 to $600. I've seen 3 go for under 400. They drop hard and fast when the RPAs are out of 249. So my method is to save all my money for a 3-color and get a 4-color or 5-color at the expo or in person. So that'll probably ring me closer to $1,000. But I'd much rather have one big banger RPA than one mediocre banger.
Still a nice card, though.
Oh, it's a beautiful card. The color scheme's great. I still really want it. If it was like 200, I would buy it. I don't think it's going to go that low, but 350, 400, nah, not doing it. Been around too long.
Do we know what's going on with the Jake's hockey mouth here, Troy? As Troy's dying in the background.
Sorry, I just had a sneezing fit. No, oh boy, that's half hockey mouth, half scowl, half.
Give me the puck.
Is he angry? Is he an angry guy?
Jake? No, he's very calm and reserved. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not anger. I think that's passion.
Oh, passion. All right. Fine line, Phil. Fine line.
I know.
Again,
tell me about it.
These are just a handful of the interesting and awesome cards to choose from at slabsharks.com. If you're a Canadian hockey cards collector looking to cash out on some of your cards at the start of the NHL season, we'd recommend considering Slab Sharks for your eBay consignment services. I say all the time, they make your life super easy through their hassle-free way to sell your cards on eBay. Just give them your cards or submit them through their website or app, and Slab Sharks takes care of the rest. You just sit back and watch how your cards do in one of the biggest weekly hockey auctions there is. So for complete consignment info, including payout rates, and to start the consignment process today, head to slabsharks.com. And if you're going to be at the Fall Expo next month in Toronto, come see us at the Slab Sharks studio, where we will be recording our shows live from the expo floor and tons of other interviews as well. And if we're not recording and you walk by, just be sure to stop and say hello to us, because that'll be kind of our home base for the expo. Happy news!
Happy news!
Information from the community.
Phil, you didn't do what we talked about.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I'll do it on the. I've been practicing. I'll do it on the next one.
I've been practicing.
We have a surprise. And Troy, that was such a wounded hobby news on your behalf, but
my eyes are watering right now. I'm trying not I'm halfway in between a sneeze.
Well, what I'm sure will make you feel better, Troy, is going over the September grading recap, because I know you're excited about that. And it comes from GemRate, and we're going to review how things shook out last month in the grading world. So are we ready? Overall, yes. PSA graded 1.18 million cards, down 15% over August and down 2% year over year. SGC graded 147,000 cards, down 12% over August and 28% year over year. CGC came in just a sliver behind SGG with 145,000 cards graded, down 15% from August and down 1% year over year. And then, well, there's old Beckett coming in a very distant fourth at 46,000 cards graded, down 28% from August and down 24% year over year. Things just don't seem to be getting any better at Beckett, do they, guys?
Nope.
No, they don't. And it just, so this whole grading thing, is this what we call seasonality? Is this seasonality where things drop in September?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll get into that when we look at like the breakdown between sports and TCG.
Yeah, Beckett's a mess. I don't know what to do with
Is hockey the only thing? I don't. What other sports? I feel like all young guns from Toronto Maple Leafs are propping up the Beckett submission.
Oh yeah, we'll go through that too, and I think that'll be interesting. But my question right now is, you've talked, Phil, about should we buy Beckett?
Totally,
getting cheaper by the day, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe we will.
We should.
Maybe we'll get in the grading game.
Make Beckett great again.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was all cards and all genres. Now let's isolate just sports cards for the month of September. So PSA graded 744,000 sports cards last month, which is down 9% from August, but up 24% year over year. SGC comes in second most at 139,000 cards graded, down 12% from August, but up 32% from last September. Beckett graded just 23,000 sports cards, down 34% from August and 26% year over year. So Beckett actually did a little bit better in TCG than
I was going to say, is the other stuff TCG? What else would it be? I mean, I know there's some other really obscure stuff, but
CGC graded just 12,000 sports cards last month, down 43% over August and 78%
ouch
year over year. So CGC is just kind of becoming the Pokemon grading company, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean they're the source, right, for Pokemon. Well, actually, no.
Yeah, CGC I think had its roots in comic book grading first, and then which is probably more natural into the whole Pokemon.
Their slabs are beautiful. So I mean, I'm not a Pokemon guy, but if you're a kid, you want your card to look the best and brightest possible. CGC is going to do that for you.
They have very nice plastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're going to go by category, and I think you're going to find this part one interesting, Phil. So here's the overall breakdown by company, by category. It includes CGC, and then it has all the sports broken down. So September was a pretty light month for hockey cards overall. Noteworthy, too, that, so you always expect there to be less hockey cards graded than baseball, football, and basketball. But actually, hockey is typically above soccer and non-sport. I'm not sure what non-sport means, but
I think that's Marvel, right? Would that be, or like Marvel DC cards?
But the bottom is tickets are the bottom. I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. Nonetheless, hockey was below those in the month of September. So here's the hockey cards graded by company. PSA graded 29,800 Bedard. Sorry, I mean hockey cards. Down 26% from August. SGC just 3,200 hockey cards, up 3% from the prior month. Here you go, Phil. Beckett 1,400 hockey cards, down 9%. I mean, that's nothing.
So yeah, right? that's 300 Marners, 500 Matthews, and the rest is Nylander, and that's it.
Yeah, I figured your math steam would wear out halfway through that. So, and then CGC just 500 hockey cards last month, down 59% from August. So, yeah, maybe it's a PSA's world and everyone's living in it. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Tag's not even on the report. I don't even know if they don't know how to pull the numbers or what, or if
they're not doing enough to where it's significant, or
they got to do more stuff.
Well, the last thing we're going to look at is most graded sports cards for the month of September. Our boy Bedsy held on to the last spot, number 10, in the 10 most graded sports cards, with his base Young Guns coming in at number 10 with 800 copies graded, boosting the total on this card all-time to 12,400 copies now graded by PSA. This is the top 10 most graded sports cards by PSA. Number 1 last month, though, was Victor Wembanyama. This Prism base card had 3,000 copies graded in September for an updated all-time total of 34,000 Wemby cards graded. So as mind-blowing as it has been to us, the whole Bedard Young Guns phenomenon, and how many have been graded on our road to infinity. if you look at the total Bedard's graded, it's only 36% of the total of Wemby base prisms that have been graded. So.
What's the Zion? Do you remember the count for the Zion? Is that the most?
I think
graded?
the PSA 10 pop is like 22,000 or 24,000, something like that. Yeah.
Is this Wembanyama guy? Has he played yet? Has he played basketball?
He won Rookie of the Year, I think, right?
Yeah, okay. He is better at basketball than Bedard is at hockey.
Wow.
It will be shocking if he's not the best player in the NBA in
like
3 or 4 years.
7 feet tall, and he can launch threes. He can do everything.
He's 7'4".
Yeah.
And he plays like he's like 6'6".
And he's athletic, and he's got a cool name.
I'm just gonna give a little a hint here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the number 5 card. We're gonna get into that mailbag. We're gonna get that mailbag.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy, Troy? The stats in that?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Okay, so what stood out to you guys in the grading recap?
I don't want to take Phil. Phil, you go first because I don't want to.
I'm just happy. I'm happy hockey has a spot. I'm happy. Go Bedard. I mean, as ridiculous as it is, I'm happy that we're somewhat relevant in a little bit. Maybe that's my biggest takeaway.
I think it looks like everyone's down, but I'm guessing that's seasonality. I'm sad that Beckett still is not doing anything to improve or something's. I don't know what they need to do, but. It's sad seeing them always down year over year, big numbers, and I don't know. I don't know what
they're trying at this point.
Well, that's from a business standpoint. Isn't there like I'm going to sound so uneducated here, but isn't there when something is failing and you have a lot of shareholders and a lot of board of directors and whatnot? Isn't there a smart, strategic way to kill something and not lose as much money? Like, is that what they're doing right now? Is there a strategy in place? Okay, we'll keep killing this dead horse for the next 7 months, and then we'll let X happen, and then Y will happen, and then we'll be okay in 3-4 years. Is that a possibility? Because this doesn't make sense.
You're making an assumption that they're losing money. They might not be. They might be actually very profitable, but they're not growing. And so there is sort of like milking profits into obscurity. Like you can do that. What they're not doing is they're not innovating. Like they're all the other grading companies, whether you like them or not, or you have, they're making changes. They're making moves. They're changing their slabs. They're coming out with new services. They're doing strategic partnerships. CGC, as little as they grade with our partner Fanatics Collect, you can send the card in, and in 1 day for $9, get it graded by CGC. In 1 day turnaround, Phil.
That's wild. They're making relationships. They're moving forward. If something doesn't work, they pivot the other way.
Oh, well, that's just flat-footed. Yeah, your point's good because guess what happened when Beckett tried to innovate? They blew it twice with the new slabs. And
I remember. Yeah, it was last year. Yeah,
like
that poor guy on social media. He got roasted.
But I'll go back to like the whole Fanatics effect that it has on this entire hobby. Fanatics has come in and they've said that it's no longer the good old boys hobby where you just do what you've always done and you're Beckett, oh my gosh, everybody loves you, or you go to like card shows in the church basement. It's like, no, this is a real industry. We're in, and we're going to rapidly innovate. We're going to push the boundaries. We're going to make it much more exciting, and you're either on board or apparently Beckett isn't, because they're literally not doing anything that I've seen, unless I'm missing something.
Well, I want Beckett to figure it out and go after BBCE, because that company's got a scam going on with the whole wrapping of the sealed boxes that they actually have to open up to look in first. And then
that's a good old boys club, though.
I know it is. I know it is. That's a total good old boys club.
You can make big mistakes in there. You still got your job. It's all good.
The Pokemon. I can't believe that company's in business after the whole Pokemon thing. They stake their reputation on it, and then they open it. It's G.I. Joe.
Have you ever seen the premium those boxes go for?
Yeah.
With it's like 50% more.
3-card has some BBC wrapped ones, and they're way more than what.
Way more. Yeah. No kidding. All right. Grading talk.
Oh.
Yay. We're going to move on. A couple other hobby news stories. Clayton Keller named Utah's first ever captain in franchise history.
Did you get permission from Austin Matthews to take his hat? Because this is his hat that he's been wearing in our pictures.
Oh, I did it for somebody else too. This is the third one. who else was named captain? Somebody else.
Someone
was
else. That was
recently.
I call you
too.
a captain, Josh. I say you're a captain of the ship all the time.
Captain, or what is it? Captain, my captain. I don't know.
His captain's hat is a face shield though, so he's got like
True.
a special. He's got a special one. So the Utah Hockey Club has named Clayton Keller its first ever captain. Remember, even though it's the same roster from last season's Yotes team, the Utah Hockey Club is considered by the NHL a brand new NHL franchise.
Yes.
Keller has played 7 seasons and has led his team in scoring in 5 of the 7. He's scored more than 30 goals in each of the past 2 years. In 520 career games, he's produced 166 goals, added 252 assists for 418 points. He was the 7th overall pick in the 2016 draft and has the 4th most points of any player from that draft class. Now, normally, guys, I don't think it makes a huge difference in the hobby market when a player is named captain. But in this case, do you guys think there's any level of distinction that could matter in the hobby when, like in the case of Keller here, it's the first captain ever for the team? Do you think that might drum up a little more hobby love for him, or no?
No.
I agree. Unless you're like the most diehard Utah hockey fan, the one person out there right now that's just so diehard that they want that. But I'm with Phil. I don't think it does much.
I don't think captaincy matters this much more day and age in the new NHL. I just don't.
Okay. I think Utah's going to be the market's going to be a smashing success. So now whether or not that matters for Keller, who knows?
Yeah.
Clayton Keller is a 2017 Young Guns PSA 10 pop, just 154. I like triple check this. I'm like, how can it only be 154? But I think 2017 was a weird year. They didn't print a lot. They're probably, it was after Matthews. There wasn't like a huge rookie that year. So yeah,
design too.
Just 154, 40% gem rate. That's sold for 143 US, which is down 1% over the past month. Now, normally, like we shy away from base Young Guns as sort of like investable, quote unquote cards. But at 100, I don't think there's like 28 million of these sitting in people's value boxes.
No.
So I would consider this kind of at 154 PSA 10s. If I really believed in Keller, I think his Young Guns is an okay bet. What do you think, Phil?
Not interested. Yeah, I don't think that's a nice card. But I get your reasoning with the Keller. That's a very low pop. It's ridiculously low.
All right. Last story. Do you guys remember on this show? Phil might not, because you don't seem to remember our show. Do you remember, though, on this show, when Yaroslav Askarov, when he didn't want to play in the AHL, so then he forced a trade from Nashville Predators to the San Jose Sharks? You guys remember that?
Yeah. And then what happened, Josh?
Remember, like, how we kind of thought, well, boy, that kind of took some stones to say, I don't want to play in the AHL. Trade me. Trade my butt. Like in this picture, Louis already pointed out in the chat that it's another butt pick, Troy, and it's a goalie, so you're probably very excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah. Well, on Friday, the San Jose Sharks reassigned the neck tattooed young goalie to the Barracudas of the AHL. Yikes. They've decided, it appears, to keep Vitek Vanasek and Mackenzie Blackwood on the opening night roster. Oops. So is this like fire your agent territory we're in here now, guys? Do you think?
It's play better territory. Yeah. As much as I'm like on Swayman's side for the whole trying to get more money thing, this one I'm way not on it. Like, you got to prove yourself. I know it's great to say you want to play in the NHL and you want to be there, you want to be the guy. Well, this is your second shot, and they gave you ample opportunity, and San Jose does not want you. I think that's more of a like San Jose, like they're not the greatest team right now. So
shout out to all the guys who spend money and take the time to get neck tattoos, but don't work on their goalie game. That was a cheap shot, I know, but it was easy.
Well, it could be. Phil, do you have a neck tattoo?
I do not. No.
I was gonna say, you don't work on your goalie game, so you could be with me.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Double shots fired.
I'm a baseball player. I think I would have been a good goalie. I should have stuck with goalie, not defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness in conversation, he did suffer a lower body injury last month that did hamper his camp. So part of the reason could be like a little bit of rehab.
Rehab
And he
assignment.
just returned back to skating this week. So part of it could be definitely that whole
I
rehab
didn't
thing.
know.
But
I should have known that. Maybe it's not his fault, or maybe it's just a rehab.
it's just kind of funny, right? That
it's hilarious.
Says I won't play in the AHL, and then does that. Yaroslav Askarov is a 2023-24 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 303, 41% GemRate. Last sold for $110 on October 2nd, up 17% in the past week, down 5% over the past month. So I don't know, maybe a lot of Barracudas fans are excited that Askarov will be joining their team. We do got to mention too, thank you to Baba Louie. Well, wait. Hold on.
Yeah, happened.
Oh.
Baba Louie files this report from the Gongshow news desk. Says hobby breaking news. Jeremy Swayman signed an 8-year, $66 million contract with the Boston Bruins on Sunday. Has an average annual value of $8.25 million. Runs through the 2031-32 season. Let's go for instant reactions. We're going to go to Troy at the goalie desk. Troy, what do you think?
Well, he got his extra $250 a year. Now, I don't know why no one ever talks about this. You got to remember, he's only going to get half of that salary because it's going to get taxed into oblivion. So that 250 becomes 125, which is I'm glad for they got more money than if the original 8-year 64 was on the table, which who knows. Swayman's camp said they never heard that number, but glad they got him signed. I think Boston realized it. Now again, he's kind of unproven, but we'll see. He got his money, so now you gotta, what's the word I'm looking for? Step up and make your case, I guess.
Well, to your point, there's been a lot of mudslinging over the past month, over 250 grand.
Yeah, that's a lot of
insane, man. I can't relate to these people. This is why I never want to meet my heroes. I love Brady Tkachuk, but I mean, he's a lot younger than me now, but even younger, I don't want to meet my heroes when things like this happen. I stay out of the Hasselhoff loves cap friendly or the old cap friendly. I don't like
cap wages. Tell them cap wages.
I apologize. Yes,
that's a new one. That's the new one. Cap wages.
But I when this stuff like happened, like really, dude, for 250 large for a year, and then like Troy said, you're not even gonna get that. That's what boils my blood. But I have no opinion on the matter. I'm happy both parties have come to an agreement, and we can get the boy back on the ice, and let's get some good hockey going.
Phil, you make a great point about the meeting your heroes, but these guys are in such a different realm. All these people with a lot of money, it's like you got to remember, what a lot of money to them is like $5 to me. Like $100,000 to them is just like to me.
I know, but this to me, like I could be wrong, but this wasn't about money. This was a peeing contest.
I think so,
right? And then just the older I get, you realize how other men are so fragile, and then egos affect everything. Yeah. So wow, I just want to watch a good hockey game, and that's why I'm going to keep it simple and not have too many strong opinions. I'm happy everything worked out for everybody.
I'm just glad we got through the don't meet your heroes conversation without Ray Bork coming up again. I'm ready for that tomorrow.
All hate mail to Josh.
Yeah, all hate mail to Josh. Yeah.
Okay, we ready to move on?
Yes.
Let's go.
So last week, the hobby internets were all aflutter when it was revealed, I believe on Reddit, that the 2023-24 Upper Deck Adam Fantilli Young Guns Gold Opus 101 was pulled.
Got a picture.
Clicked. It was clicked.
ePack. Was clicked on ePack.
I like that. I like
the
sound effect. And then you get a special one, right? When you get the red border around it.
Yeah, it goes like an alarm, like I
don't want that.
Something. You know what else you don't want, Phil?
What are you doing?
No one watching the show wants to hear that either.
The best part is I want to do it all the time, but I wait just for very special moments on that.
Please, another 3 months, give me.
Reddit was chock full of strong opinions on the issue of should these key 101 cards even be on ePack in the first place.
Yeah.
And honestly, as I was kind of thinking about it, it's a complicated issue. ePack, of course, is a hybrid product. It's part digital, part physical, and can kind of feel muddled at times in with physical hobby or retail distribution. It's like a Venn diagram, right? Where there's not clear lines. We know, of course, there's a vibrant community of ePack enthusiasts that Phil's now deeply entrenched in. And conversely, it seems like anytime big card is pulled on ePack, a whole bunch of people voice their displeasure that key cards like this 101 Fantilli are on ePack in the first place. So our goal today, between the four of us, is to talk it out. We're going to try. Oh, yeah, Louie's got to come back. Louie, where are you? There you are. We're going to try to figure out what the solution is to this issue, if anything. And now, Phil, we're all going to agree to stay civil here. I know you're all about the ePack culture now.
I'm good.
The community.
I'm good.
You're all one of them.
Yes.
But
well, no. I visit and I leave. I'm not one of them.
No, you are. You are. Yep. We can feel it, dude. We can feel it in our bones. So I have a series of questions that I'm gonna for the group here. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can maybe kind of flesh this out a little bit. So here's key question number 1. Do we still buy the argument that the biggest benefit or one of the key benefits to ePack is for people that don't readily have access to hobby shop, that maybe like live remotely or something like that, when we kind of know in the world we live in that any Amazon order is like a 2-day delivery? So who wants to go first with that?
Louis wants to go first.
Whose argument is that? Is that the reason why there's ePack? To make it readily available for people that can't get to a shop?
I don't know if that's the core reason why Upper Deck created it, but it is a reason that they have noted and people have noted. Right, Troy?
Yep. And I actually do think it's still a reason. Now, is it the number one reason? No. But I think it definitely is part of a benefit of ePack.
To me, it makes it's a bigger benefit in probably like Australia, where there's a big hobby market or decent hobby market, in Europe, because I do kind of fall back on whether you're in Canada and you order boxes from Mint Inc. or you Dave and Adams or you buy, it's like shipping is like so fast these days that if you're in the remote area of Canada, Phil, I'm sure you can get a box shipped to you in a couple of days, right?
Canada, as geographically massive it is, we have rural routes, and they're easily accessible by post or Canada Post. I do get ePack is very important for people that are very far out, right? They don't have an LCS close to them, but they do have mail close to them. So I don't get why you would do ePack over getting a cheaper price from a diamond dealer. Like, I could live in Alberta, but I could order from Ottawa and get it in 3 days, which is way cheaper than I would for ePack.
But the Australia thing or like Europe thing is probably more of a valid.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
I agree.
Because it can be, I don't know what it costs to have a box of hockey cards shipped to you in Australia, but I'm guessing it's probably close to what the box cost.
Yeah, some big eBay sellers, it always says like Hong Kong. I'm like, what? I don't get that.
I know I've seen that, and sometimes I shy away from those because of all the reports of counterfeiting that are coming out of China. Okay. I kind of stay away from some of those sellers. I just don't have enough trust to.
I bought one from Hong Kong off eBay, and I looked at his page, and he's a big group breaker of all.
Yeah,
products.
If you do your research,
I felt comfortable with that. Yeah.
When I kind of started with this question to try to get a little bit to the core of like the purpose of existence question, and specifically in the mind of the collector, right? For Upper Deck, I'm sure the purpose of ePack's existence is to make money. And guess what? Upper Deck is a for-profit company, and sometimes I think we get a little too hard on them for trying to make money. I don't know anyone that operates a business where you don't try to make money. So,
okay, I got to pedal back on this because I am completely green when it comes to this. These cards you pull on ePack, is it something you just keep on your computer and you trade with people on the computer if you want? Can you get the cards, all the cards? I'm more of a tangible kind of person. I want the card in my hand. If I pull it on ePack, do I get it? Do I not?
Yeah, I don't know.
The answer is all of the above, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So how ePack works is basically the base cards are considered digital and the hits are considered physical. So in the case of this card, the Fantilli 101 Gold Outburst is the card it's a physical card and you can have this shipped to you. what Upper Deck does when they create a set, when they create extended series for 2023-24 like they did here, they make the product with X amount of total cards and boxes. Then what they do is they assign whatever percentage they feel is appropriate, 20%, 30%, 40%, I don't know, to ePack. So those cards are the Adam Fantilli Gold Alpers 101. They're all produced at the same time, and then X percentage of the hits, quote unquote, get assigned to ePack. They automatically ePack cards are stored at ComC.
Okay.
ComC uses like night scanners from 1920 because obviously this is a thousands of dollar card scanned by a potato.
Yeah, look at this. You zoom in and you just start losing all the fidelity.
They want you to buy their service of the better scan.
Yeah, they sell the better
That's why
scanning.
it's a crappy scan, because they have, if you pay more,
Yeah,
they'll give you a great
that
scan.
means even Upper Deck's like, nah, we ain't paying for your high quality scan.
Upper Deck pays ComC to be the fulfillment partner for ePack, right? And it makes sense because ComC is probably more set up to do so than ePack. Okay, so Louis, so when you click your cards, to use Phil's term, on ePack, digital cards remain, all cards kind of go into your ePack's quote unquote collection. The physical ones are noted as physical, the digital ones are digital. At any point in time, you can go onto ePack and transfer your physical cards to, I say transfer in quotes, to ComC and get them sent to you. Now, you might be saying, well, if they're already at ComC, why are you transferring them? You're transferring them from the ePack system into ComC. The reason why you have to do that is because while your cards remain on Upper Deck's ePack system, you can trade them or do achievements with them with other collectors, where once you transfer them to ComC, it's out of the ePack ecosystem at that point. Then you can have the cards sent to you. The digital ones, you cannot, Louis. Those just stay on ePack. But what Upper Deck has done with the digital-only cards is giving you sort of this little extra benefit or incentive or chase, where if you get a Kirill Kaprizov base card, you can combine those. So you can trade with other people for low-level base cards. And then I only know what the Young Guns is. I can't remember what the base equation is, but you combine 5 base Young Guns into a silver foil and then 3 silver foils into a speckled rainbow. And that's a way, like through base cards that start as digital only, that you can combine them, because once the card is like a speckled rainbow base card, now it becomes physical. And then you can transfer it to ComC and then have it shipped to you from ComC.
You can't go to you can't go ComC to ePack though.
No, it's
Correct.
a one-way
street. You can't
street.
go the other way. Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it answers mine. I hope it answers somebody else's too, because I had no idea.
Oh, guaranteed it did. Guaranteed.
Okay, now here's my next question. When you guys are ever buying a box of cards, so if you're at the card shop and you're buying a box of Series 1 or Parker's Champions, do you ever does it ever cross your mind that some of the best cards are on ePack?
All the time. I look first. I look first whenever I need. I'm on the ePack. I have it queued up right here on my side monitor. I go through.
No, I'm not talking about in the ePack marketplace. I'm talking about unopened, right? And so like the perfect, we think of like the 101 case where you have Fantilli that was opened, quote unquote, on ePack.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes for high gloss, right? And so if you're at a store and you want to pull a high gloss Jake Sanderson, half of those or 20% of those, whatever the percentage be, aren't even in hobby boxes. They're on ePack. And I'm just wondering if that ever crosses your guys' mind.
Me, it does not. I forget about ePack because I don't use it a lot.
SP Legends had that Gretzky. Guys were going ham trying to find that Future Watch because they figured out there's like 13 left. So they got to be on ePack, and they got them all. Well, I don't know about all of them, but they got a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Guys were figured out some type of little formula, and they're like, hey, it's in there. They play their cards right. Pun intended? I don't know. Yeah. They got them. Yeah, like 4, 5 or 6 guys on the ePack within 2 days. That SP Legends was on ePack. They got them. The Gretzky Future Watch.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty smart or expensive.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah, both.
Okay, so conspiracy theory here.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm going it just because it came up in my mind. So let's take the Bedard 101. Haven't seen it yet. Is there some guy that just sits 30 floors down in a room somewhere
yeah, Billy,
and just waits and hey, we need to make sure we get this much product out and product sold, and then I just hit a button and now the 101 is entered in the ePack for
well, that one's not, but I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a special situation because we were told it's in
right.
It's all decided on the front end, right? Yeah. It's all decided, and I think from what I understand, and I could be wrong, is that it's a game of percentages, and so whoever splits, like does the physical split, probably at the pack out between what cards get put in the hobby box versus what cards go, however they're transported to ComC for ePack. Is that it's like, oh, like X, like if it's 30%, then 30% of the high gloss go to ePack.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you got something to say, Trey?
No, honestly, I agree with. I don't buy it. I know the conspiracy. Like Louis, you're not the first one to think that. There's a lot of people that think no way it's going to get hit right away, because why would they let it get hit right away? And then I don't buy by that. I feel they're on the up and up, and it's out there somewhere. It just hasn't been pulled. Billy's not down in his office, watching stuff.
They're producing so many sets, and these were done so long ago that, it's not, I think, very understandable to think that, but not practical in how their operation works.
Okay, I wouldn't think so either, but I just had to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Good question. Okay, here's the next one. Does it bother you more, a card like this is a either or question, being quote unquote clicked open on ePack or opened in a retail blaster? Which is more?
So here's my deal. I have absolutely no problem if they disclose that where the cards are at, which they do. So go back to this Fantilli. I have zero problem it was pulled on ePack, and I'm probably in the minority. But they put out there the Outburst Golds 101s are in. I'm looking at this checklist right now. Are
randomly inserted.
Right? Yep, hobby and ePack only. They've disclosed it. It is what it is. Maybe it's on me to know that information, but I have no problem if they disclose where it's at.
I don't care.
What about the whole ePack versus retail? Does that bother you any more than the other? Either, Phil?
I don't buy retail, but I don't like saying something should not be in retail. That upsets me.
Yeah.
I think retail should have an absolute so the more poor people can't get the cool thing, that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think retail should have their own SKUs and have their own 101s, but then you're probably watering down the product by having.
There's
you'd have to add new sets, right? Like I get it.
There's pros and cons on both sides. I don't have the solution, but I feel for both parties. I think retail is important, ePack's important, and hobby's important. I like hobby the best.
I think lots of kids buy retail, and I want them to hit something.
I want a kid to hit this Fantilli Gold Outburst. I would love Outburst. I would love
but the thing is, none of the hits or none of the parallels are in retail, are they? Let's see.
Some of them are, but it explicitly says it on the checklist if they are. One thing.
Yeah.
I think retail is really important. I think it gets most people into the hobby.
Yeah.
Right. Most people don't drive by a card shop and not have no interest in the hobby and decide to stop in. You're at Target buying groceries and you see, a box of hockey cards. I loved hockey cards when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a box. Right.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden you're like knee deep into
I think you should be able to get exclusives in retail. And how about not high gloss? Something like that. A nice mix for everybody.
When did? I mean, I could do this in the background, but for sake of conversation, when did hobby and retail split? When did it end up being two, or has it always been that way?
90s.
So retail's always a smaller amount of cards anyways. Why can't it just all be hobby, but when you buy a blaster box you only get 4 or 5 packs, and then you buy a hobby box and you get 20 packs, as an Upper Deck flagship example. Why not just leave it as one?
Well, I think I could answer that because all hobby shops would go away instantly. That the card manufacturers had to give a reason for hobby shops to exist by giving the opportunity to get better cards, because there's no way a local card shop could ever, if they had to compete with Target or Walmart, they would get instantly crushed, and within a year all card shops would be gone.
Got it. Yep. Didn't think of that, but that's the answer. Good job.
All right. So now, next question is, if Upper Deck took like 101s off of ePack or other key cards, it would kind of kill ePack, right? Because then why the heck would you buy your packs on ePack if you couldn't hit good cards, right?
Well, I never think I'm going to hit a 101 anyways. It's 101s have never came into my equation of buying cards.
No, it's for them though, Troy.
I know.
That's
I'm just saying they probably would, but
anyone else have anything to say about that or no?
You know what? I don't think it would.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I guess
it's very.
I kind of divert to Phil on this because some of those ePack whales, and are they going for? Is that like their job or not? Are they going for the 101s? Is that what they?
I don't know, man. It's hard. Yeah. There's some whales that just like to flex. Like a thing I've been kind of watching from a distance is guys come in and out of the hobby fast with ePack, and they sell their whole account because they get pissed off or very upset. And the same 4 or 5 guys swoop in hard and just buy everything. And I haven't figured out if they're all about the achievements or if they're just, or if they have the disease of more, like Josh likes to say.
Yeah.
I haven't befriended anyone yet to peel back the layers of these thoughts, but I'm working on some stuff.
Well, okay. Go ahead, Troy.
I'll just say, if you get rid of the 101s off of ePack, there's still all the achievement stuff. And Louis, maybe
they love the achievements.
They're still going to get out all the achievement stuff.
Yeah, they love the achievements. That's a big part. I think they're cool too. I almost got roped up into some of them. Like, no, stop.
Phil, the show we talked, I think it was at last show. I said there's been like 7 times I've had Parker's Champions in my ePack cart, and I can never pull the trigger because I saw.
I listen. I'm like, do it, Troy, do it.
So I think I probably need to get past the point that in my head I feel like, to me, ePack seems like a game. That's how I look at it. Like, you're trying to get all these cards. If you get something great, sweet, I can get it. But then, like I just learned, you can take all these base and put them together and I get something bigger, or I can make all these achievements. So I think there's more to it than, I don't know, 75, 25% of people might hate not having a 101 or the other way around. I don't think it would kill ePack.
It is the hobby, to your point, Louis. It is the hobby to a lot of people, and it's not my cup of tea, but I can see people wanting to make all these trades and take. You can take a literally worthless base card and turn it into something kind of cool. Yeah. And if you want to grind it out like that, it is the sort of gamification aspect of it, and that is sort of a neat benefit of ePack that you don't get because. In hobby boxes, base cards have never been more worthless, right? And so it actually has helped make base cards relevant. The other really interesting thing that we haven't talked about yet on our show is that if you examine the Series 2 ePack price at $230, right? And the fact that in hobby shops right now, Series 2 is $100 more. What that tells us is the chance to buy or the chance to get the Bedard Outburst Gold 101 is essentially $100 lottery ticket. You're paying $100 every box premium just for the chance to get that one card. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Well put, Josh.
Because that's the only difference between the two platforms is that we know, and I think it's a good time to maybe interject this in too. I think it's also a strong point of evidence that Upper Deck understands that the waters get a little muddy between ePack and physical by the fact that they felt like that they had to ensure that the Bedard 101 would not be an ePack.
Yeah.
Right. If it's a true system that, and it works like it's probably intended, you wouldn't have to use any sort of manipulation like that.
Yeah.
Very good points. I wish my biggest ePack is fun. When you start talking with the guys, sending you a blank, little jargon there. They're a great group of guys, and they're very tight knit. I just wish I would love to buy. For the record, I've never purchased anything off of the website. I just use it for trades, and I give fiat, like actual money, and I send them a silly digital card, and then they send me the big card I just bought. Then I transfer it to ComC. I would love to buy a box or a case on ePack if it was cheaper. I can buy Parker's Champions boxes for like $80 Canadian.
Yeah.
Now.
And
I am not spending 160 American like it. So I wish there was more sales, and I've talked to some guys, and unfortunately there just isn't. They don't really have like a Boxing Day. They have some things like that.
If
but
you're
never
into
worth
Marvel,
the
that
while.
goes on sale a lot more than
well,
especially
that's because
now
they're
with them
losing it.
losing the license. But here's another thing. Oh, random question. When do you think ePack started?
Oh,
I know.
Yeah, okay, let's all guess. I'm gonna Lou, you go first.
04.
Oh,
Phil.
geez.
I know.
Yeah,
it's not. I don't know.
2015.
I'm gonna say 2018.
2016.
Nice.
January
Close.
2016, which to me is mind blowing how they were so far ahead of everyone else doing this.
Awesome.
Anyways, that's another reason, like the history of ePack too. Just
And it's not going anywhere because there's last time we checked, there's like 150 million cards in ePack.
Yeah.
150 million.
What's the maintenance on that? You like 3 people? Well, okay. I don't want to make
it's
anybody
ComC and their gerbils running around that they don't feed. So
who Ian from customer service? That's the only guy that ever responds to customer service. Ian, give that man a raise.
Isn't there something from a count?
Troy's starting his ComC Hungry Gerbils. Right now.
We need, listen, boys, we need to get Ben Barry. He's on. If I hook it up, we get someone on here? Because he really should be on this episode or somebody.
Who's Ben Barry?
He's like the king of the ePack people. He's
got a crown.
Well, I give him a crown. He's great. Yeah. He's very patient with me, so I figured he'd be patient with the 4 of us.
Right, Louis, do you guys know that ComC is started by a Minnesota couple?
Negative.
I did because we brought that. We like to bring that up just to show Minnesota.
One of us, right?
By a Minnesota couple that lives out west, or they started it here.
Yeah, they must have worked for Microsoft because I think ComC is based out of Redmond, which is where Microsoft is. Anyway, that would make sense to take software skills and make a card company out of it. Yeah, but that's my conjecture there. Okay, the only potential solution that I thought I'm not sure if it's even a good one to all this, would be to do what Upper Deck's kind of been doing already, but to make a hard line between ePack only releases and physical releases. So we had 2021 Flair Ultra, which is only on ePack, and I was personally bitter about that because that's my jam. Or they've had Ovation that has been an ePack exclusive. Would it be better just for everyone's hobby psyche and all parties involved if they came up and potentially did then more hockey releases? Did you have 20 ePack releases a year and 20 physical products? Or is that not a good idea?
Is this just your way of saying that Stature is going to ePack only?
I would lose my.
You want more sets for ePack only? That's your solution?
I was going to say ePack releases are only ePack. There's no, and physical releases are only physical.
No, super silly, ridiculous.
Okay, so you would rather have cards like this that live with cards like this on ePack, the Fantilli Gold Outburst 101 Young Guns, than have.
You mean the chance of it, like the odds? It could be
the
on.
Chance
yeah.
Well, this one was on ePack.
Yeah, though. That's congratulations to that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem to bother everyone here as much as it does people.
No, it does. The more I think about it, I live with it because they disclose it. And I know it's wonky. The odds are weird. You got to kind of do some work to figure it out. But at the end of the day, they do disclose it. And I do like that on the ePack site, they have to put odds. So that's kind of fun.
How I mean, I don't know what other word to use, but how crackheady would it get sitting there just clicking, click, 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 click. Crap, there's $300 gone. Click, 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 click. Crap, $600
Well,
gone.
here you can go faster than that, Phil. You can unpack all or unbox all at one time
in one shot.
I'm pretty sure if you buy a case, you can just say, "Do them all," and it just.
Is there ePacks Anonymous? Hello, my name is Phil. Hi, Phil. I've clicked 4,898 times in 18 seconds.
If we're being honest, though, Phil, there's probably lots of people that would watch or observe us opening a $600 box of hockey cards that we get nothing and think that's.
Well, I like when you've done the pack openings on. ePack.
Yeah, that's okay. Rip Party's going to be so different. Rip Party's going to be totally different than ePack and clicking on a monitor. It'll be great.
Oh. You mean we're not going to do like an ePack Rip Party?
No, well, we could. If we don't do well on the real life one, we'll do the internet one.
I wish they were available both. Yes, I wish it was available on both. Okay, and maybe that's me just being a baby because, like you, I want Fleer Ultra. I want to go buy a box of it.
Let it go, the Fleer Ultra. Fleer!
Stop it.
Fleer.
Don't talk naughty about my Fleer, please. All right, anything else? Well, I guess I'll mention before you guys throw in your final thoughts that if you guys have opinions on this, we'd love to hear them because that's good. It's where we all learn and grow. So comment on YouTube, message us on social media. Phil, I'm sorry, Troy, any closing thoughts on this?
No, I am totally fine with where cards are put in the current system and how they do it and how they disclose it. I am getting closer and closer to buying stuff on ePack, but I don't. I can't make the difference up in the price yet to be the instant gratification versus the money saved. I haven't got that value proposition yet. So that's where I'm at.
Maybe at some point we'll buy Baba Louie a box on ePack and get sort of his perspective on the show from, they're
having a Marvel sale, 50% off. Go buy some of that.
We need a shot caller. We need an episode strictly dedicated to ePack, everything, the do's and don'ts, everything you need to know.
Yeah. We do have one with Danny Machado, who runs ePack at Upper Deck.
No, we need a civilian. We need a civilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Fanatics Collect is a Gongshow partner and sponsor. We're thankful for their support of our show. Just a few days away from the start of the October premiere auction, which begins Thursday and runs through October 24th. Also, remember, the Buy Now Marketplace has over 4,700 hockey cards to choose from, many of which that you can put offers on. And then finally, this week's Fanatics Collect weekly auction is live, runs through Sunday night. Like you'd expect, there's some awesome cards available this week. We'll pick out our favorites on Thursday's show, highlight a few vintage and modern cards that speak to us. And for the Buy Now Marketplace, the premier auction, weekly auction, vaulting, grading services, make sure you head to Slab.
Try that again, big boy.
Close.
Make sure you head to fanaticscollect.com.
Were you distracted? Were you distracted by some of the 51 Parky here of Gordie Howe?
I was.
Nice card. Well, that one too is one of these like low grade gems. It's a 1.5 that people say, "Oh, I don't want a 1.5," but then you look at, if you like take 2 seconds and look at the card, you're like, "Oh, this is."
Oh wait, I'm assuming one of us will, or someone will select that one.
All right. Well, Phil, that's you, Phil. You're Phil. This past weekend was the Montreal Sport Card Expo in Laval, Quebec, and we sent our intrepid Gongshow reporter, Phil. Check it out. Get a lay of the land. Take the temperature of the hobby, and file his review and report on our show. With that, are you ready, Phil?
I'm ready.
Okay, so tell us about the Montreal Sport Card Expo.
Well, it was good. Hasselhoff and I, we took off. He skipped school. Daddy approved, so it was okay. Yeah, it was all right. So we left. The expo, the card show was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I decided to go up for the Friday, maybe stay over to the Saturday. Unfortunately, I couldn't have. I had to come home and work on the Saturday, but we took off. I thought it started at 10 a.m. Good thing I looked on the website because we were packed and ready to go, and it started at 3 p.m. So we had some time to kill.
I guess that.
Normally, when I was 20 years ago, it would take me less than 2 hours always to get to Montreal, Laval, where my family lives. It's over 3 hours. The last 5 times I've driven there, it's taken me over 3 hours.
So this is like a homecoming for you?
No, I'm born from Montreal, and I have extended family that's never left there. And I moved to Ottawa when I was a little baby. So,
okay.
The stomping
You're really
ground.
a Canadians fan?
Pardon me?
That makes you a Canadians fan, right?
No, I was a Habs fan till I was about 6. Yeah, and then I became a Sens fan when I was in
Why
my
do they call the
teenagers.
Canadians Habs? You know?
I did. I forgot that. So I used to know. It's embarrassing that I don't.
We did that on our show once, Troy, right?
I think
So you
so.
guys should know too.
We don't remember anything.
We don't remember anything.
Anyways,
Okay, so you drive to Montreal.
Yeah, we drove to Montreal. It was the drive was rough, but we got there. We got there right at 3:00. Empty, dead. You know, it wasn't many people there. I heard from Sylvain that the vendors were sold out, but not everybody shows up on the first days of the shows.
Sure.
So it was.
You said that this show in particular is more of a Saturday show, right?
Absolutely. The Friday is the Friday. The Friday is to set up for the dealers to schmooze more. I thought it would be a good day for me to go because I would try to take some video and some pictures with the boys. And there wasn't a lot set up. I'd say there was about 25% not set up there. So that's always a little disappointing. That's why I really wanted to stay till Saturday. But Sylvain was busy. You know, the Slab Sharks booth was like the busiest booth there the whole time. People just dropping off cards. It was almost as if some people went there just to drop off cards. It was wild.
Yeah. Okay. Was it at the same like soccer dome
that
Troy was at?
Yeah, same venue.
Want me to show pictures yet, Phil? You yell when
you show them. Yeah, they're just pictures with the guys. Yeah, you can look on my Instagram too, Loud Collector. There's some videos on there.
Hey, he's got a Gongshow hat on.
Yeah, the original. I tried to take it off his hat, and he was like, "No, this is a collector's item." yeah, it was great. There's Jeremy. I was super happy. At first, I got Jeremy to take a picture, but then, that's the one. And then Seth's like, "I want to be in the picture." I'm like, "Settle down." So we got him in there.
Can I ask, is this all Slab Shark setup that you have in the background here? Okay, so they had tables. They didn't have this last time I was there.
Yeah, so where you see Jeremy's banner at the top,
yes,
all the way to Sylvain's banner and that table, and to the left of that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a guy started setting up to the left of Sylvain when I was leaving because I left on the Friday. We only stayed a few hours.
Was there any noticeable difference than 6 months ago when you and Troy were there? Like that there's more dealers or the show's bigger, the autograph area is bigger?
So it's very well advertised. It's very well run. It's got a big bark, but when you get there, it's not a big bite. But the quality is good, small yet mighty. You know, it's not, do not associate the word expo with the Toronto Expo that we speak about. That's why I call it the card show.
Yeah, because it's in a field house. I mean, it's nothing like the convention center with 3 halls.
It's not what you're thinking, right?
And if it's hot outside, it can get hot because that AstroTurf don't breathe.
Yeah, sure. Troy, they opened the garage this time, so there wasn't that stale smell to it. So they opened the garage, so there was good airflow. But Troy, it was exactly how it was 6 months ago.
Okay,
same dealers. Maybe some new, some didn't come or whatnot. I didn't see Johnny there. I was kind of bummed out. I thought I'd see Johnny there.
The big thing was that they had some big time names like Timu.
Yeah,
I mean, and
Price was there too.
Price and Doug Gilmore too, right?
Oh, Gilmore! I didn't even know that. Yeah. Oh,
Sylvain.
there's Sylvain. Yeah.
Sylvain was there.
Confessions of a Card Dealer. Sylvain Cormier.
Yeah. He was so busy. I can't. So I spoke to him today. We're recording. I spoke to him today, and we're recording on Sunday. And he said Saturday was just insane. He bought a pack of peanuts, and he didn't even finish it. Who doesn't finish a pack of peanuts? Busy guy. Yeah, he took in like over 500 card submission. He didn't have any time to go shopping. None.
Wow.
But if you're watching, good listener, if you're watching, look behind Sylvain and me. All those tables are empty.
Yeah.
You know, they're all empty. Look at the back, empty. So Saturday, I'm assuming Sylvain said it was really packed. I asked him specifically about the dealers. I said, did the empty tables fill up? He goes, Phil, I have no idea. Like he's so tunnel visioned in what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's right beside Jeremy, which is good because they can help each other out.
So the expo people bought this show from somebody else, correct?
The Anti-Expo. It used to be called the Anti-Expo.
Okay. Why aren't card shows bigger in Montreal if it's supposedly, I think this is true, got the most like fervent hockey card collectors, most passionate hockey card collectors, you would think that they would have some of the biggest shows, right?
Yeah, they have a monthly show as well near this location, and it almost feels smaller than the Ottawa show, which is wild to me because Ottawa's teeny tiny and very safe, and Montreal is just such a beautiful big cowboy type of city. I've always wondered why they don't have one big massive show. I guess this is it, but I don't want to speak negatively. It feels it feels like it doesn't pack as big of a punch as Montreal should to me,
Okay.
Like shouldn't the Toronto Expo be in Montreal? That's the way I see it.
Maybe.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Speaking
half
of,
the people in my country that collect
It would be
cards
weird to
from
call
one
it the
province.
Toronto Expo if it was in Montreal. But I get your point.
It'd be pretty funny. Yeah. It's very well organized. It was very well run. Everyone's very friendly. Great things. I was not there Saturday, so I don't know the vibe. I'm assuming it was just popping
Well,
off.
it was
like
Saturday
crazy.
when whoever the big jerk was stole someone's car with half their collection in it.
Yeah.
Oh
DCFL.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that happens every show. It's becoming a plague on our
Yeah.
society. Not our society, but on the hobby. It's just so disheartening and ridiculous.
Scum of the earth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Okay.
overall it was good. I picked up I can say this now. Rourke, great seller. He's on Instagram as well. I picked up the 0506 full base set, all 100 cards. He brought it for me, so Rourke was set up there as well. And it was a good chance to go there, buy my card, and hide it with Sylvain. Yeah.
Anyone recognize you from the Hockey Cards Gongshow Podcast?
Yeah.
He's like, no, but I'll say yes to make you feel better.
No. There's
We have a lot of room for like recognition, right? Like
it was
grow.
very flattering. I thank you to everyone that complimented me and said they watched the show. Shout out to everybody. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good report. Anything else about the Montreal Expo before we move on?
No, I can't. If you want more videos and whatnot, head to my Instagram as well.
Oh yeah. Go to the Loud Collector, and
Loud
think we
Collector.
shared
Sorry,
one
not
of them.
Gongshow.
You did great videos, so good job, buddy.
Thanks. A few more to come.
Good job by you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, let's talk about some metal. We have a big new product release this week. 2023-24 Metal Universe comes out this Wednesday. We're gonna have Bedard PMGs, Bedard Jambalayas, and special to me, hopefully special to other people that have followed our show, it's the return of the original designer of Metal Universe, G. McLeod, who created Metal Universe as a basketball set in the mid-90s and came back to Upper Deck a few years ago. This is the first set that Gene has worked on, or Metal Universe set, since the 90s. And so I think that makes that a little bit special to me, and hopefully she's going to kind of push the envelope further a little bit on the set too as she becomes more and more involved. We're actually going to talk to Gene on Thursday's show what it was like to get back in the saddle and design Metal Universe again in like 30 years, something like that. So almost 30 years. So that's pretty crazy. Very much looking forward to that. But today, boys, we're going to highlight the checklist, which is out. Did Phil die? Or did he just disappear?
I just disappeared, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll be back. So we're going to talk about the 2023-24 Metal Universe cards that you should care about. Now, there's some quick general set information first. So the base set consists of 200 cards. There's 100 vets, 50 stars, 50 rookies.
Yeah, we like 50 rookies.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's 4,016 unique hockey cards in 2023-24 Metal Universe.
Is that low end? Do you feel like that's lower?
Yeah,
Okay.
lower-ish, I would say. Also, I should mention that Upper Deck hasn't published the gallery yet, which is unfortunate for this show. So we're a little limited on what we will be able to show today, unfortunately. I think it was supposed to be up by now. I bugged them about that, but it didn't happen.
I'll look now just in case.
Yeah. So that being said, Metal Universe is mostly known for PMG parallels and then some interesting inserts. Now, PMGs come in a few forms, again, in 2023-24 Metal Universe. There's base PMGs, which is a parallel of the base set. the numbering follows sort of the traditional PMG format. There's 101 total cards. 90 are red, 10 are green, and then there's a gold 101. What's always unique about PMG typically has been unique about PMG numbering, which I think is going to change this year. So this will be a big change, is that typically everything would be out of 100 except the 101. So the green would be the first 10 numbered out of 100, and the red would be the next 90 out of 100.
Okay.
Where there's two huge changes so far, aside from the updated design. Number one, I've never seen the numbering on the front of a PMG card. And it appears that if the card is true to the sell sheet, that they've numbered the green out of 10 this year, which I'm kind of conflicted on because I'm a traditionalist by heart, but this confuses so many, even like fanatics on their auctions and other auction companies, they'll put the green out of 100, which is hurting the seller significantly because greens, as we know, are always out of 10. So I just want to throw out there now, this is the base PMG design. If you're watching on YouTube, it's Matthew Nyes. It's the green out of 10. What do we think of the design? And then what do we think of putting the number on the front and actually putting greens out of 10?
Is it still 101 cards total?
Yeah, and the 101 is new since 2020 when they introduced the gold. But
it is confusing. I mean, if they go this route, I think they better stick with it the rest of the time. Like you can't flip flop back again.
I don't like I'm a traditionalist. I want a green card with a hockey player on the front, and that's it. Yeah. That's what I want my PMG to be.
You want the numbering on the back?
Numbering on. I want Matthew Nyes on the back. I want 153 on the back. I want metal on the back. Maybe the PMG can stay there, but even rookies can be on the back.
Yeah,
I want it all on the back. That's the whole shtick of the thing. I want the thing back.
Okay, I kind of agree with you.
I still like the card though. For the record, I actually find this card quite sharp, but I want it back to the way it used to be.
Yeah. Well, there's more PMGs too, as retros have been a staple in Metal Universe since 2020-21. So this year there's actually 3 additional PMGs. Oh boy. And I haven't seen any images of the retros, so we're going to show the originals or prior year designs. So as what's been a staple in the last few years, you get 97, 98 retros. So the example that we're going to show now, Troy, is Cole Caulfield on here. And I think maybe last year didn't have 97, 98, but again, this is the most iconic PMG design. So these have red, green, and gold variations. Then there's a 2008, 2009 retro PMG. Now, these were only made for basketball. So we're going to show an original 2008 Michael Jordan. But again, for hockey, in this upcoming Metal Universe set, there's red, green, and gold variations. And then finally, there's a 2013 retro PMG that I'm assuming is going to be from the Fleer Showcase design, not the Marvel cartoony ones that we had last year. And the example we're showing comes from 2013 Fleer Showcase is the Wayne Gretzky. Once again, these come in red, green, and gold variations. So this isn't a math show, guys. But when you add it all up, and then I verified it on the checklist, I hate saying this because it just bums me out. There's going to be 4 total Connor Bedard gold PMG 101s in this set.
Boo.
I
get it, but I don't. I mean, actually, what am I saying? They can do what they want. Like I don't know. I'm not a Metal Universe guy, so I'm the wrong person to be asking.
I am, and I think we need to have some PMG real talk here for a minute because I love PMGs, and I know that like for you guys and other people are hit or miss. That's great. I just don't think Upper Deck can stop making retros, and they have to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The PMG market has been crushed over the past 2 years by the avalanche of cards. PMGs used to be like rare and special and unique. Oh my God, a PMG. I can't believe seeing one in person, right? Why can't we just have like one base PMG and one retro? I think that would work. And sometimes, and I think Phil, you're big, like sometimes less is more.
Less is more for sure. I don't even want the retro. I want my metal set. I'm off metal. I just want my regular PMG set out of 100, not 101. I don't even really. Oh, sure, fine. Do the 101. Fine, 101. Yeah. That's it. Make the other cards better. Make something else. I don't want PMGs or PMGs. 101 cards. That's it. No retros, no parallels, no nothing. That's the set every year. So we can chase it in 15 years. My grandson can chase the same card I chased 20 years before him.
And you really want to make it special, only give it to rookies. So
amazing.
So
love it.
So then every player gets one PMG. And then if you want to throw in an extra card and you just start this whole like rookie philosophy this year, do one retro for every player that didn't get a rookie PMG, and that gives you more content, and now you're good. So I was thinking about like this whole deal, and it reminded me of like, I think everyone has that like one friend that you go out to dinner with that can't just have like 2 beers or 2 glasses of wine, has to get like drunk, right? Every time they drink. Yeah. I don't think Upper Deck can help themselves. I think we need a PMG intervention, and I just want them to slow their roll on this. It's like, how is the Bedard PMG going to be special when there's 4 of them? The 101.
It's not going to be special.
You're right. It won't be.
It's going to be special to 4 people that own them, and that's it.
Well, 4 people are going to think that, oh my God, I hit $1 million card.
Yeah.
And then they're going to find out that they hit it.
I missed that. I don't know why.
Okay, so there's the base, which was Matthew Nyes.
Yeah.
There's the 97, 98 retro.
I got you. You're saying the retros and the other versions. Yeah, I got you.
And then there's the 2008 and 2013. Yep. And there's the Bedard 101 in all 4 of them.
How do you feel about PMG Signature Legends Edition?
Well, that's what, well, it kind of reminded me of Stature, where there's like 17 101s.
Yeah, that's like Stature.
More isn't better. Anyway.
But if it's a Legends set, it's way cooler.
It's just not a PMG to me. It's not there's not one card of any player in the last 2 years or this year that I will be like, I'm a huge Jake Sanderson guy. No, there's not one metal card I'll be getting from him. Phil, the green, I don't care. Shane Pinto, I haven't chased anything.
I think
nothing.
Between today and when we talked to Gene, I think that's a game changer a little bit, and there's some really cool cards coming out, but we'll see. Maybe that'll change. So I'm off my PMGs.
New stuff I'd like to, but when it comes to specifically precious metal gems, it should just be the one thing. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Please stop.
I agree with you. Okay, I'm off my PMG soapbox. So what else drives Metal Universe there's a whole bunch of typically unique and creative inserts. It appears there'll be a ton of them in 2023-24. Something that's not new, but I think this year is very unique, and I'm really excited to see in person, is I'm a big Jambalaya guy. I love the previews of this year's designs. And when you're looking at any Jambalaya on a computer, you always have to take a huge grain of salt because they look a million times better in hand. And if this one, we're looking at the Connor McDavid example, looks as good or is as nice in hand as it should be based off the computer design, I think it could be a huge hit. Now, if you're not familiar with Jambalayas, they're die-cut cards that have a lenticular kind of trippy sort of, I don't even know how you describe Jambalayas, but they're just amazing, in my opinion.
Do you notice something? Do you know what these look like?
Pixels, right?
16 bits.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Look at the font. Font is dead on. 16-bit. And then Jambalaya. It's the same font. Different color.
It kind of like a mashup there between...
Oops, not that one.
Between that. So there's 20 cards in the Jambalaya set this year. The pack odds are 1 in 960 to hit any of them. Bedard and Logan Cooley are the only rookies. There is a Kaprizov too, which I'm probably gonna get one for sure. What does this design speak to you, Phil? Are you a Jambalaya guy?
I've never been a Jambalaya guy, but I'm happy you like them, Josh.
I was not.
Shocking.
I was not a Jambalaya guy until I hit one in retail in a blaster, which is like impossible. But I hit was it Jack Eichel? I think
it was Eichel, yeah.
And I was like, well, these
are they worth? Cool. Are they rare? Like they're still rare? Yeah.
I sold my Eichel one. It was over $100. I know I got for it. It wasn't a rookie or anything. It was just...
Well, let's go back to the PMG thing, Phil. These are 1 in 960 pack odds, and there's one of them. So
yeah, just because it's rare doesn't mean I want it.
I got that, but you just asked if they're rare.
Yeah, okay. Well, 1 in 960, that's pretty rare.
All right, Noise Boys is back for the first time, I think, since 2012 Flair Retro. There's no public images yet, so I'm showing the Gretzky from the 2012 picture. This goes back to, again, a card Gene designed in the 90s for basketball. There's 20 players on the checklist. Bedard and Fantilli are the only rookies. Really tough pack odds, 1 in 1,200. There's Kaprizov, too. So do I just like file for bankruptcy now, Troy, with all these Kaprizov cards that I love? And again, here's an example where I think so this would be 12 years since a very popular Noise Boys insert. If Upper Deck just did these every 12 years, I think that would be amazing. But my fear, as excited as I am that this is coming out, my fear is we're going to have like 17 Noise Boys parallels.
Yeah, the Noise Boys run.
Oh, you will. You will for sure. They'll be the Quiet Boys.
1 in 1,200 pack odds, though. That's a tough card to hit. You guys, either of you Noise Boys fans?
All right.
Yeah, I'm not, but
okay. Z-Force is in 2023-24 metal. I really wish there was an image we could show. The base insert, will be fairly common, but there are some parallels that could be interesting. Like we're showing from 1997, the Michael Jordan Z-Force Super Rave. It's almost like Party Time Pat at Upper Deck named this, right? So I don't know if they'll look similar to this, but I think these Super Rave parallels are out of 50. And so they've got, some kind of crazy die cut it had to it in 97, but Phil's smiling like
I'm not a big Fleer metal guy.
Yeah, apparently not.
Yeah.
Good. Save it for me.
Yeah, all yours.
Well, maybe this one, Troy might like this one, Goose Eggs. This is one of the new ones. So it's an acetate.
I'm with you, Phil.
You don't like it, huh?
I just goose egg is such a antiquated term for a shutout. I don't hear anyone say goose eggs anymore when you get a shutout, but
it's a goalie. It's an acetate goalie card, 1 in 400 pack odds. Now pictured from the sell sheet is Phil's favorite goalie, Linus Allmark. So you must be excited about that, Phil.
And I don't get the different zeros, I don't know. There's a wood one.
Sweet 16 birthday party there.
Yeah.
That was also a golden goose eggs parallel out of 25. No rookies on the checklist, so only vets. And I don't know if that's because the lead time it took to produce these cards, but I would think this is a year with a number of interesting goalie rookies like Devin Levi and Dustin Wolf that you would have wanted some of those on the checklist. And the last one we'll go over is a kind of cool retro if you collected 90s basketball.
I love this one. I didn't like the Golden Goose. I love this one.
Oh, that's Skybox.
Yeah, I love that.
That is awesome. Yeah, I love that.
So it's a 1990 Skybox metal retro, features 30 players. Now these are actually metal cards too, like made out of metal.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Medium-ish tough pack odds, 1 in 240 packs. Mix of rookies and vets. We're showing Ovi as the example from the Upper Deck sell sheet. A bunch of rookies in this one: Logan Cooley, Connor Bedard, Adam Fantilli, Luke Hughes, Leo Carlson. I think 1990 was the first Skybox year too, so maybe this pays homage to that. But yeah, I love 90 Skybox basketball, and so this card very, very much speaks to me.
Yeah,
love it.
Okay, so those are kind of the highlights to this point. We'll talk more about the designs with Gene on Thursday, but it's time for our favorite game. Are we ready to play Guess the Bedards?
Oh, no.
I feel like we need music. We got to guess now. How many unique Connor Bedard cards do you think are in 2023-24 Skybox Metal Universe Hockey? We're playing for honor, glory, and bragging rights. And since Troy is way better looking than Phil, we're going to let him go first.
Oh.
So
all
Troy.
right. So I've noticed a trend with these. I think they've been falling anywhere between like 50 and 70. So I'm just going to go slap right in the middle, 60. There are 60 Bedards in this.
Troy guesses 60 Bedards. And now it's time for the much uglier Phil to take a guess. So Phil, how many unique Connor Bedards do you think?
That's okay. I know I'm handsome. I say 45.
45. So Troy guesses 60. Phil guesses 45. The correct answer is 66.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Whatever.
Connor Bedards.
Phil, you hit it last time. I get one.
I know. I got to lose sometimes, right?
Okay, now what to expect if you buy a hobby box of 2023-24 Metal Universe. In each box, you can expect one Z-Force card per box, one numbered insert card per box. You can look for autographs, you can look for PMGs, and it doesn't sound like you have to look very hard.
Yeah.
And you can look for rare insert cards too. Now, pre-sales in Canada at Mint Inc. are still at like $230 Canadian.
Yep. Oh, it's mad at me. He wants me to change. I
I
changed
always
it to
change
Canadian.
it.
Oh no! Stop it! Now I'm
That's
back.
170.
Canadian.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me go back to Canadian.
they didn't design their site for American podcasters.
Let me turn my VPN on real quick. No,
Yeah.
Okay, 230 Canadian.
Oh yeah, and Louis, because I'm like completely fumbling all the sponsorship stuff today. Yeah, new product releases sponsored by Mint Inc. Of course, so very grateful to them. Their sponsorship all through Canada. You can buy your Metal Universe still on pre-sale for $230 Canadian. Get them shipped. I think if you spend more than $500 CAD, free shipping for them too. And then in the US, pre-sales at Dave & Adams running about $200. So it's Mint Inc. has better pricing than Dave & Adams. Go figure.
It's like 172 US at Mint Inc.
So it's kind of a little bit of like a downer for me because not that there's any blame here, but you guys are just not big Metal Universe guys, and I am. So
I used to be, but I just
okay.
I think I was done. Well, I was done with the exaggerated designs on the PMG 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know, the characters kind of. I was like, yeah, you
like
made
the
my
Marvel
PMGs.
characters stuff.
Yeah,
that was a Marvel reference.
And awesome for trying something different. I love that. PMGs are special in my heart, and I don't want.
You're definitely not in the minority. A lot of people.
Yeah, I just don't want it messed with. Like baseball, like we need to make it more exciting. Well, understand it better. Yeah.
Troy, what about you? I mean, is this better than recent releases or same?
I don't know. I like this card. I'm not.
Yeah, Skybox.
I'm just not a PMG guy. I've tried to grow. They've kind of grown on me here and there. Then I'm like, nah, I'm not into it anymore. So I want this.
I think it's gonna be tough if they keep producing 4 different versions every set.
Yeah.
I just want one. I don't even want retro one. I don't want a retro. I want the same design every year, and it's the hobby does. The hobby does.
I mean, think about it. If this release would drop eventually to like $99, I'd be in. But I don't know if it ever will.
Would Jean agree?
Yeah, with Bedard.
When you interview her, could you ask her? Be like, does in your heart of hearts, do you just not want do you want this design just to stay the way it was that you meant it to be? And every year, I think they have to change things to make them better. Change is good, but not always.
Yeah, right? I don't think that's necessarily a Jean. So my read of the situation, sort of a Jean in her purview of influence.
Yeah,
but I think she's pretty much said that on our show, Phil, that Jean had never even, when she was designing these cards in the 90s, like she's an artist, right? So she looks at it like, I would never design the same thing twice.
Oh yeah, so she probably does want to change it. Okay, don't ask Jean.
I mean, we can, but I think that she would say, but you know, then there's the business side, and the business people are going to come in and say, people are going crazy. These PMGs, people love when you have the Michael Jordan 97, 98 retro selling for like $1 million or something like that. That's like, I can understand the temptation, but it's like I said, they just can't, there needs to be like a governor put on at some point to keep it, reasonable. But let's move on to mailbag.
All right.
Instagram, 99-cent cards CA. What are the great minds of the Hockey Cards Gongshow? Oh, who's that?
Who?
I think you're on the wrong show here, buddy. Think the biggest feats in the 2024-25 NHL season will be league-wise and hobby-wise, other than the Senators finishing in last place.
Ooh, shots fired.
And cards. I see you aim high. I'm $1. You can stay at 99 cents.
All right. Troy, you want to go first?
Yeah, hold on. I got a cough. Excuse me.
Beautiful cough.
All right. Mine are Ovi's chase for the record. I think if he can pot a couple goals right away, that ramps up again. I said if he can score 2 goals in the first 4 or 5 games, I think that all heats up again. So I'm interested to see if that happens. Hobby wise, I want to see what Bedard pricing does after a month and if he has a poor start. Because Chicago stinks. I'm calling it. They are terrible.
Really? I'm going to say the biggest hobby story this year will be, I assume at some point, the Bedard Young Guns 101 surfaces and what happens.
What do you know?
After that? Maybe it'll be a rip party.
Oh, maybe.
Phil, what do you think the key stories are going to be this season?
I'm going to go
hobby or NHL.
I'm going to go off the board a little bit, see how Stamkos does. You know,
Nashville.
Yeah, he looks so odd and peculiar in that jersey.
That's odd. That's like weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's like a Gretzky and a St. Louis Blues thing. It just, you know. So I'm curious for that. And I'll go back on the board. I'd like to see how Bedard does this year. See how the hobby connects to that. I think he could have a very mediocre year, and his cards will still stay pretty high. So,
Discord Ojibwe 86 in Montreal. There's a restaurant chain called, well, I would say La Cage, but I'm guessing there's La Cage. They have a promotion. If the Canadiens score 5 goals or more, La Cage members will have 8 chicken wings for free the day after the game. What's a member? Like, do you have to join it or something like that? I'd like to know if there are any promotions similar to this in Ottawa and in Minnesota. Troy, you try to look it up a little bit here.
I'm sure the Wild have done something like that in the past. The only one I know about right now is the Vikings, and that's football, obviously, NFL. If they score 2 touchdowns, it's like, I think, $1 Big Mac or 50-cent Big Macs at McDonald's the next day. But you got to use the app.
Are you talking about the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, 5-0. I'm trying not to say it. I said it last time. Everyone got mad at me that they're undefeated. So they are undefeated. But yeah, I'm sure the Wild have had stuff.
Have the Wild ever scored 5 goals in a game?
That's a great question. It used to be on the back of the ticket stubs in the old day. I remember, I think Gopher Hockey had Subway on the back. Bring this in for whatever if they win or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Phil, what did they do in Ottawa?
The first thing that comes to my mind, I don't want to say it, but I will. We had a pizza line in the mid 2000s. It had to do with Spezza, Alfredson, Hitley. And if they scored more, Heater
talk.
Yes, Danny Heatley. So they,
your favorite player? Can you go crazy again? Can your head explode? Can your hands shake?
No, I'm just no. So Spezza, Alfredson, and Dan Heat. They scored more than, I believe it was 5 goals. You get free pizza at Pizza, which is a pizza store.
Boy, more than 5. Oh, I guess back then though. How long ago was that?
Oh man, dude, we owned the league back then, man.
Yeah,
that was 7-8 goals, no problem. Yeah, we were good back then.
Is Pizza the Little Caesars guy too?
They're so similar. They have a similar little character. Yeah, I prefer Little Caesars.
Don't start me on Pizza.
Instagram, my New York NYRPC. Why is Upper Deck changing honorable numbers? It's such a poor choice, making the bookend no longer a chase card of any interest, and is so inconsistent it pulls any relevance to the player to a bare minimum. Nearly 20 years of a popular insert from the OG Cup turning into a silly gimmick just because card designers got bored and had to change things up. Please ask Upper Deck team to reconsider this disaster. I think what Billy said is their rationale was they wanted to repeat players, and they felt it was too repetitive unless they changed up the numbers to some stats on the back. But that being said, my NYR PC guy, you should tune in on October 16th to our Series 1 release party live on YouTube, where you could ask Billy that yourself and see what he says. I'm sure, he would answer it, right?
He'll answer. And if he can't, he'll always say, I can't answer that.
Does Billy know I'm on the live?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
Each other what?
No.
You gonna fight somewhere?
No. It'll be good.
I don't. All right. Instagram, Danny Hamilton 867. Where is the 101 Bedard Young Guns?
Yeah.
Well, number one, that's a lot of question marks. Very emphatic. I'm pretty sure it's in a box waiting to be opened at Rip Party, like I said. That's where I'm going with.
I just chuckle to myself thinking someone's already pulled it and they just have no interest in selling it. So it's just sitting in the collection and they just giggle. They just giggle to themselves every time it comes up on some dopey podcast.
It's PC, bro. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's committing to the bit, knowing there's $1 million bounty for it.
Yeah. Like I said,
maybe they don't care. Maybe they're wealthy.
$1 is like $1. So
do you think that this is like I'm got my tinfoil hat on right now, but what if like this is a Troy move? 100% what you would do. You would pull this card. You would immediately get in your car and drive.
I would drive. No way I'm flying.
You drive to Buffalo, and you would say, "Give me $975,000, but don't tell a soul.
Don't tell a soul that it's been pulled.
That it's been pulled, and that I have the card because you wouldn't want the smoke, right? I mean, is that not kind of what you would do?
I would think about it. I wouldn't do it though, because then you know what it would get into is like, oh, you're in with David Adams. They have it's in David Adams' interest not to say the bounty's been claimed because they can sell more boxes.
What do you care? You got $1 million?
Well, I like it would be like one of those things. I wouldn't say I pulled it, but there would be clues, and you know it'd be like
like disappearance. Yeah, that's a big one.
Twitter, Alexander LaRoche. Why are 2005 to 2009 Upper Deck Game Used jersey inserts going for so cheap? I remember back in the days the joy of picking memorabilia. It's now a commodity. Well, I think everyone's obsessed with patch autos and rookie patch autos, and that's diminished to some degree, just the patch. And I also think too that collector preferences change. Like, you know, we point to like one of the cards all the time. You look at the 2005 Ice Premier's rookies for Crosby and Ovechkin. Those were huge cards back in the day. But again, because now there's like 44,000 Ice Premier's parallels, it's kind of gotten watered down and people don't look at them necessarily like that anymore. And so maybe there's a little bit of that too. I don't know. Do you guys have a opinion on this?
I don't know. I think patch cards kind of lost their interest to a lot of people. I'm one of them where if it's just a swatch or jersey, maybe a patch is not the right word because cool patches, but like, so I'm going to show this on my screen. I got this ice card. I pulled it. It's like Brad Marchand, I don't care, with a jersey. And I was just like, next, who wants it?
See, like, I like them. I got, look at this, a Patrice Bergeron, nice chunky, just patch, no auto. I love this card.
I like show cards. Look at this card.
My card's better than your card.
This one I pulled and I just hung my head in shame because it's Kalen Addison who's not with the Wild anymore.
Look at this
card. Your Topps finest out of here. That is a great card though, Josh. You guys want a tip for holding cards? No, that's a horrible card. Do you want a tip for holding up cards to your webcam? Take them out of the top loaders and then they don't have the shine.
I refuse. Then I bend them.
Not a top loader.
Oh my goodness. That's not a hockey card.
It's a piece of cheese.
It's a piece
rookie.
of cheese.
A rookie cheese.
All right. Do we answer that one?
Yeah.
I agree with you, Mr. LaRoche.
Okay. Discord, 2-cent hockey cards. When will the NHL finally let all players, not just goalies, decorate their helmets? I've been happy to see some movement here with the silver helmets for Kings and the gold helmets for Notre Dame. It would allow more personality, creativity to come through, which will only help sell the game. Perhaps they would need to put some limitations on colors used, but it seems like a good idea whose time has come. The only kind of like analogous situation that I thought of is how in the NFL, like for
your shoes,
I think like one game a year if it promotes a charitable cause for that player, they can do whatever shoe they want.
Yep.
Do you think the NHL would let people go bonkers on their helmets though? Nope. I don't see that.
They're not like that. They're probably too driven by the sponsors. The sponsors would be like, oh, you can't change I can't move my milk or my Oreo thing from my Toronto helmet, whatever it is. They should do something. They should. I mean, it doesn't have to be every game. Do it once, twice a year, and let the players have fun. Like goalies still have a card, or they still have a freedom, I'll say, with their helmets because a lot of them they get cool stuff on them. But yeah, I don't think the NHL will allow it to ever get where we want it.
What do you think, Phil?
I surprisingly think it'd be kind of cool to see, but I don't think it'll ever happen. I like the idea. It's kind of neat expression, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. If you try to get deep on it, right? The meaning of uniform is uniformity.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, I take it back then. Yeah, back to conservatism.
Well, okay, I just want to watch it all burn down, so I'm all for it.
What are you saying, Louis?
Oh, leave them alone. We're not decorating helmets. It's not art class. It's hockey.
Oh,
wow.
I like it. I like it, Louis.
All right. Thanks, Louis. Shots fired. Comes in hot. Discord, Broadway Blue Shirts. May I ask if you gentlemen can elaborate on the appraisal insurance for Fanatics Collect vaulted item values? I asked because I picked up a Wayne Gretzky a couple months ago and definitely spent more than the listed value. Can you please explain? Thanks, guys. The as of date is ridiculous concept if your purchase is the most current sale of that item. Roy, you did a little bit of looking into
I just want to go. I want to ask, may I elaborate? No, I cannot. No, I've actually seen this as well. I think it's a bigger discussion. We need to reach out to someone to get the actual what goes on and how that whole insured value is assigned. Now, I found if you go to Fanatics Select on their frequently asked questions on their site, it does have this blurb. It says, if you give a market value less than what I paid for a card, can I use my owner value for the insured value? And the answer to that on their FAQ is yes, you can change the insured value when you log into your account, click on Vault, check the box or boxes of the items you wish to edit, click the actions button, and click edit owner value. So I hope that might help. It looks like you can change the insured value. I don't know. I don't get it. We probably need someone on or a response from someone at Fanatics.
Jeremy had an insurance guy on his last episode.
Did he?
Sports Card Live, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about like insuring your collection. This is what this is about, Phil, is that when you put a card in Fanatics Vault, they give it a declared insured value as if something like with the vault were to blow up.
Yeah, you'll
something
get
like that.
$10 for it or something.
Yeah, and a lot of times those values are a little bit low.
Yeah.
I'm not a big vault guy, but I feel like Troy, and I'm very similar to Troy in our limited experience, that this is a legacy thing that was with PWCC and probably an area for Fanatics maybe to look into a little bit, unless we're just not understanding. But yeah, we need to get somebody on to help us decode it. Discord, Jay Peterman. With PSA doing the hockey card special in August, do you think we'll see any market movement in the upcoming months due to potentially a larger number of submissions returned? Well, it didn't help their September numbers.
I was waiting for it. I was going to say if you're going to say it.
Yeah, in our grading report. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, you always have a whole people submit over the summer, and it's all driven by the rookie class. And so I think the next few months are going to be dependent on how strong this 2024-25 rookie crop is. Bill, you're a grading expert. What do you think?
I think grading is just a behemoth, and it's never going away until something big happens.
Yeah.
Discord Rob, I have graded slab binders and top loader binders. Are there one-touch binders available? Well, I've never seen a one-touch binder, and I didn't even know there were slab binders. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I think Phil's talked about the slab.
binders. Slab binders. Yeah. I have no use for them in the future, but they do exist. I am looking for my one-touch binder.
One-touch binder seems like it would be useful for people, but go ahead and make it. I mean, you just got to have it, because if you do a one-touch binder, then guess what? Those ultra thick top loader cards would fit into that too.
That's right. You need an engineer out there to design something ergonomically beautiful.
Yeah, can we copyright this? Copyright,
trademark,
productions,
patent pending. What about cheddar binders?
Get that. I'm going to rip that card. If you put that card in front of me at Expo, I'm going to rip it.
We'll get a dual cheddar binder with guitar pick binder.
Makes me hungry.
Ones are called.
Well, you could almost kind of like, if you want to get creative with the bit, you could make a square out of them, right? Like a cheddar puzzle binder.
I'm leaving.
I think Phil left.
No.
Okay. Next one. Instagram, Hockey DT 198. It would be cool to see the top 5 hobby goalies from each decade.
Ooh.
I agree.
Shows
Also, probably more of a segment than a mailbag question because that would take a few hours to chunk through. But
I have mine ready right now.
Okay, go for it.
Of each decade?
1970. 1970, go.
1970?
It's ready. It's ready. Go.
Okay. Bernie Perron. Gary Cheevers.
I believe you.
Gary Cheevers.
Was he 1970?
Obviously Ken Dryden.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Billy Smith.
Okay.
And I think that's all I'm going to pick for today.
What about Tony Esposito?
No, overrated.
Kuchiak.
He doesn't count. I'm not from Russia. Not the 70s. Oh, yes.
No, I'll fully admit I just typed in 1970s NHL goalies to see who popped up.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. We'll add it to the list. Instagram, McCleb Hockey Cards. From your honest point of view, which hockey hobby market has the largest fan base? Well, my assumption is the largest fan base is in Toronto, but with the most passionate would be either Toronto or Montreal, right, Phil?
No, Montreal. Montreal de Canadiens, all the way.
Okay.
My favorite part of this question is your honest point of view. Like, does he think we just lie on all our other questions?
Typically, yes. That's our.
So I'm gonna give my lying point of view. I think San Jose has the largest fan base of hobby collectors. Sorry.
The next question is from Instagram, Axel Foley 13PC, and thank you for respecting the family show. He says it is a family show, so instead of FMK game, how about sign, trade, or cut between Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, or Mario Lemieux? Phil, we'll let you go first, and then Troy.
I'd cut Lemieux, sign Gretzky, and trade Howe.
Wow.
Did I play that right?
You said a different answer than you wrote in the notes.
No. That was me. That was me.
I didn't see the notes.
No. Phil didn't do anything in the notes. I accidentally put mine in Phil's.
Oh, okay. So you cut
Lemieux.
Well, what was it, Phil, again? Cut Lemieux.
I'd cut Lemieux. I'd sign Gretzky, and I would trade Howe.
Okay. Troy.
Sign Gretzky, trade Lemieux, cut Howe.
We all had different answers. Can you believe that? I would sign Lemieux. I'm trading Gretzky because of the haul that you could get in return. And then I'm cutting Howe.
I'm surprised you'd sign Lemieux. He was, he was injury prone.
Injury prone? Is that what you're going with?
Kind of. I'm just trying to be objectively kind.
Yeah, but then it's like what Gretzky are you signing in the first 10 years or the last 10 years?
Or turtleneck sweater Gretzky.
Yeah,
I like turtleneck Gretzky.
Oh, gross.
You know what? Maybe we're all wrong. We should have all been signing Howe because he has long. The guy played for 4 decades, and we're not signing him. We're
5 decades, isn't he? Or is it 4 decades? That was 5.
I don't know.
You're probably right, Phil. 4.
I don't know. We're all silly.
Instagram, Southie Schmike, potential hockey card mystery. There have been 2 posts on Reddit exactly 5 years apart. Well, maybe not exactly, but felt more dramatic saying that. A 1991-92 Pro Set Gordie Howe auto. So in both posts, the owner of the card. So it's like I think somebody posted that there's this Gordie Howe auto. We're showing it.
Yeah, I'm showing the post.
Sorry,
Reddit's really bad for trying to show stuff on.
The gist of it is not on any checklists. But 2 people posted 5 years apart. So is it legit? Is it not legit? And here's my whole thing that I've learned in the past year about this era of autos is a lot of them were done aftermarket. Some were pack pulled. And in general, the hobby has never really kept great records. So I've gotten more and more skittish on stuff like this personally. And before I buy, even like some of these buybacks that we all love, like the early 90s Gretzky buybacks, etc. There's a whole like Ken Golden's dad's company thing. And I'm not even saying that they're not in many cases legit. It's just there's not good records of any of this. So it's really hard to distinguish what might be a real, like in this case, the thought was that this was an Easter egg in 1991 Pro Set.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore not on the checklist?
I believe it in a weird way. I totally believe it. Pro Set does weird stuff, man.
It does. And you wish there was someone out there that knew, like, that worked there. that would answer this. But then again, I was reading through all the comments on Reddit, and some people are like, "Oh, Occam's razor. What's the simplest explanation? It's aftermarket signed." So who knows? This one might forever be a hobby mystery.
I want to lean towards that. It was pack pulled. Yeah, I want to lean towards it. There was some weird stuff, man, in the 90s. So a lot of odd things were happening in those packs.
Someone bought it for. Oh, here's the other. Is this the other one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other one. Go back, Troy. So there's two. Troy showing two cards. One signed at the bottom.
I don't know. I don't want to say that is. I have.
Oh, I thought they'd be similar. Then maybe not. I don't know.
Oh my gosh! Look at the first Reddit comment. That's an interesting hobby mystery we have now. I suggest submitting this question to Hockey Cards Gongshow. They may be able to find an answer.
Nope, we made it worse.
No, we made it worse.
We made it worse.
But we did get to show Scooby-Doo. There we go. Instagram, Rob Kenny 96. Bigger hobby upside, Dylan Gunther or Logan Cooley?
I'm gonna go Cooley on that one.
There's a lot of Dylan Gunther steam right now.
I'm a Cooley guy too, though.
I'm going to Cooley too.
Go.
We're all three Cooley.
Yep, Gophers.
Louis,
That's
right?
Cooley great reasoning. Just Gophers.
Go Gophers.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Minnetonka.
Phil loves when I do this and then do that. Bring Louis on and take him off. Hey, Louis. Never mind.
Well, Dylan Gunther, wow, I didn't realize how he ended the season last year. Holy cow.
He was on a heater.
He Tim Stutzel'd at 21-22 for sure.
Louis is very upset. He thought we all disrespected Gordie Howe, by the way, too. Just so you know.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Instagram, Billy Celio.
Oh no.
Does Troy schedule his hockey practices around? And by around, I mean Billy's days Billy is on. All right, Troy, what do you have to say for yourself?
It's usually, Billy has normal working hours, but he's on the West Coast. So when he can do an interview, it's usually, 3 p.m. our time, maybe 4 p.m., which sometimes my day job gets in the way. But yes, hockey practice does get in the way of that too. So I just feel bad. I miss all Billy's interviews, it seems. I've
never seen you on one, Troy.
I've been on 2 or 3, I think.
Oh, okay. You're like
he's not afraid to give me the business. It's like, I didn't know.
It's good. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you also have hockey every day. So I mean that affects that too. Instagram, Stan Rips. Thoughts on 2019-20 Ingrained? Was it a one and done product? Well, on 2019-20, I thought it was, kind of cool, different and unique.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It's also coming back.
Yep.
For 2023-24. I'm assuming to be out in a few months. They brought it back for the Betsy release. Were you a big Ingrained fan, Phil?
I was at first, and then I got over it really quick. Like a wood-paneled basement. They're very cozy, but probably shouldn't have it.
Were those all numbered cards? Am I remembering that right? Like, it was pretty... Like the base were numbered and everything.
There's some nice cards in there. Some of the patches were nice. The window was weird though. It was on the left side of the card. It was kind of...
Oh yeah, I'm looking at some pictures of it now. Oh yeah, those are kind of weird.
Discord, Cigar Scott. You may have brought this up before, but is there any rhyme or reason why certain players don't have Future Watch autos? And doing the 5K challenge, I came across quite a few high-end players that I couldn't find one for, like UC Saros, Roman Yossi, and Connor Hellebuck. I've seen them sign other cards. I can't imagine it being a refusal to sign issue, or if they came back late, that they would have just put them as an update the following year. Any insight? I don't know, Scott. Boy, it is a great question, but
yeah,
not everybody
we really have
to
look into. It may have to do with
ask Billy on Rip Party, or not Rip Party, but Series 1 Live.
If I had to take a total guess, it would be when they make their debut. And where that fit in the product evolution of that set.
That, and I wonder too because he mentioned a couple goalies, and goalies are always in that weird. Mm-hmm. They'll come in later, and maybe they're thinking it's not their rookie year because they're a 24-year-old or a 25-year-old.
Probably right, Troy. Yeah, so
I wonder if that plays into it a little.
That's bit. Weird. UC Saros doesn't have a Future Watch. Pretty weird. But you're right.
Connor Hellebuck?
Yeah, Hellebuck.
Roman Yossi, captain of the National Predators? Come on, man. Yeah. Okay, this next question, I'm very, very excited about. I put a lot of work into this. So I hope you guys are happy with the result. From Instagram, cracking some cards. If the Hockey Cards Gongshow was made into a movie, Who knows? Maybe negotiations are underway. What current or former NHL player would play you? Well, thank you, Kraken. Some cards. Fantastic question. I'll go first. I would be played by Connie Madigan because we're related, and that means we look alike. And he was old, like I feel. In fact, Connie Madigan. You got the picture here, Troy?
Oh, I didn't even see a picture of him. There was no picture of him.
Oh, there wasn't?
No.
Oh, he was the oldest NHL rookie to ever play in a game. We're back from a very short pause to get our photo situation all squared away. Okay, I'm going to start over again with me. I would be played by Connie Madigan.
Nice.
Because we're related and we look alike. And he was old, and I feel old. Now, Connie was the oldest rookie ever in the NHL, which is very true, by the way.
Yep.
Made his debut for the St. Louis Blues in 1978 at the age of 38. But then he would go on to star in a movie and become more famous from flipping off the crowd. You know that reference, Phil? My cousin?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
He is the guy in Slapshot that gives the fingers, the
Oh!
double fingers to the crowd.
I did. You did tell me that. I apologize. I forgot.
Yeah. So I'd be played by Connie Madigan. Troy would be played by Pekka Rinne, and his character would just talk about all the places around the world he played hockey for the entire movie. He would just be walking around in the background saying, I played in Sweden, I played in Russia, I played in Iran, I played in Vietnam.
All right, hold on. Guys, go back to Connie Madigan. Family show, but here. There he is.
I love it. That's amazing.
That's Connie Madigan right there in Slapshot.
As if that...
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Phil.
And Phil, as we learned from a YouTube commenter from our last show, Phil would be played by his doppelganger, Mel Bridgman.
I fixed my teeth, though. I can't take them out anymore.
Yeah, there would be Phil. And then the minute the script was made public for the project, Phil Kessel's agent called us and said, I have to play the part of Baba Louie. What do you think, Baba Louie? You on board with this?
I'm in. Let's go.
All right. So we have Pekka Rinne, Connie Madigan, Mel Bridgman, Phil's doppelganger, and Phil Kessel.
Did you hear the Spit and Chicklets when Biz was going nuts on like how Phil Kessel doesn't have a pro tryout contract or anyone's
crazy? Phil the Thrill.
413 goals. And no one wants him. Like no one will even give him a shot. It's like
wild.
No, that sucks. Bye-bye, Baba Louie. Mm-hmm. We need like a sound effect where he goes like he's like falling into the hole. He's like, ah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Instagram, Liebner. Do you guys think Allure will ever reach a similar level of hobby relevancy to OPC Platinum? I'm a big Allure fan. I'm very excited about where it's heading, but I think it'll be always like a notch below Platinum.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think if OPC would have had a second stumbled year because they had a one bad year where they kind of things got a little off the rails, if they would have had another one, but I think they've redeemed themselves the last 2 years. So no, I don't see Allure taking OPC Platinum's place in the rankings.
Allure turned some heads this year, mine included, but just a couple of years, Allure will have to smash it for the next 2 years, and Platinum would have to stumble for that to happen. So
good way to put it.
I'm going to agree with the boys. Smidgen under.
Last question. Troy teased it about 2 hours ago now. From Discord, Vintage Mark. Great question. Hockey cards have always been less popular than baseball, football, and baseball. Probably than basketball. But for all the talk about Bedardapalooza, is Caitlin Clark a bigger hobby star?
Yes.
And Mark referenced a post on Discord that featured a article about a rookie auto of Caitlin Clark that recently sold for $97,000 US. Big number. So I thought it was a great question. I did just a 1 month sort of comparison analysis comparing Caitlin Clark to Connor Bedard. So last month in September, per card letter sales history, 19,100 Caitlin Clark cards sold on the secondary markets. 22 sales over $5,000 US, and the high sale last month was $84,000 per Caitlin Clark card.
Wow.
So 19,100 cards last month compared to Bedard, where 5,900 cards sold last month, one sale of more than 5,000, And that was the top sale, just over $11K for, I think, his Young Guns acetate. So is Caitlin Clark a bigger hobby star?
Well, there's some. We're fudging the numbers a little bit because Caitlin Clark's season was going on, and Bedard was in the off season when this happened. So just remember that. But yes, at this point in time today, Caitlin Clark is a bigger hobby star than Bedard.
100%. Bill?
Yeah, she is. She definitely is by a landslide.
When her team got eliminated, the WNBA ratings dropped by 50%. How crazy is that? Like one player, team gets bounced, and the ratings go in the tank.
Personal pickups time. Looks like Phil's the only one doing
Phil's
heavy
our
lifting
savior
on the show. He's
saved the show.
Phil, we trust.
Yeah.
Which one do you want first? Do you want the?
I think I put them all in one, didn't I? Oh yeah, don't put the nice gesture last.
Okay, nice gesture last. Okay.
Yeah, so these are my pickups from the Montreal card show. I got Ron Hextall. You're looking at a Ron. They're all exquisite. The old design from 0304. One of them is a patch auto of Jeremy Swayman. I normally would have not bought that card because at the time he has not been signed, and I didn't want to be a part of their peeing contest with him and Cam Neely. But I bought that card from Rourke. No, I didn't. I bought that card from Grant, GP Sports, shout out, and he gave me a great deal that I couldn't say no. So I bought that. Then I got an Owen. Sylvain picked me up an Owen Power, just an auto, no patch. I got that for $150. And then I picked up that Hextall for $130, I believe, from Riley Sports, Riley on Instagram.
Are you an Owen Power guy?
No, but that's a pretty low price. $150 for that, and that's a nice auto. You don't see cursive writing much anymore. I thought it looked nice. It's a nice card. And then the last gesture. So this is from my boy who I talk about, it seems like every week, from Anthony, Felix Potvin Collector on Instagram. He gave me this card. I don't have any stature cards. I have no stature cards from Brady. Or do I? No patches from Brady and stature. And he gave me this card. Just flat out gave it to me. Oh, it's gorgeous, man. And he gave it to Marco, who's also on Instagram. Give him a follow. He has great cards. And he gave it to you. Yeah. He gave it to me at the expo.
No. You want to explain what Mr. Kachuk is doing with his eyes?
Oh, yeah. He looks like he's being possessed.
They look like they're rolled up in his head. I don't think they are. I think the eyeball is there. He's looking, but it looks kind of funny.
So it's a stature out of 10, and it's a 3. Well, it's a 2 color. I mean, black doesn't count as a color, does it?
Yeah, it does.
That's
this
a 3
is 4.
patch?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I would say it's a 2 color.
No,
actually, either black or white. I'm spacing this out. Is actually the absence of color.
That's
there's always one of those guys in the group, eh?
This is 4. Look, white, black, yellow, gold.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Take the win. Take the win. 4
it's colors. A great card in my collection.
Look at all the breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 breaks.
There's like 19 breaks, man.
Man, it's so cool.
Does it look like Brady's using his peripheral vision in that photo?
Yes. He's gonna score a goal and fight.
His hockey IQ. His hockey IQ.
You know what I read a couple days ago now? That the human body is radically adapting and evolving to the fact that people live life like this, and that within 30 years, all of our peripheral vision might go away.
Really? That's dangerous. Did you guys hear Shane Pinto got 3 goals last night? I know it's preseason. Yeah, but he still got him. Pop 3 in. Just saying.
Okay. So are you saying I'm gonna have to sit here and look like left and right all the time, just so
our goalie's gonna play?
True.
Be a goalie with
mirrors. They're gonna have mirrors like this.
We did it. Troy, you survived. You hung in there. Appreciate that. I know it's tough when you're not feeling great. If you like the episode, please leave a rating, review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, want to support with us, want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, please consider a $5 US donation per month. Join our $1.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description in both YouTube and the podcast apps, and our Instagram, TikTok profile. You go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link, or just go to Patreon's website, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. This might be an announcement to some, but we're on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, and Troy and boys. The Hockey Cards Gongshow Podcast is a production of Dollarbucks Ventures, LLC. Have an awesome week. Louie, take us out.
Bye.